And now I'm going to do this awkward thing where I wait for it to actually show up on the feed. But, oh no, it's done it straight away. So apparently we are live. So, hello, you're watching Tech Flashback, a PC gaming and hardware news live show focused on the bigger stories of the past week. I'm your co-host, PC Jack, and this week I'm thankfully joined by my co-host, Jerry of Top 3 Entertainment, who I didn't realize was back from Vegas, but even better. So we're going to catch up with Jerry because we missed last week because we were a bit held up with my birthday last week and Jerry being away and whatnot. So we got a bit of catching up to do, and we also got some topics to catch up on in regards to the RTX 4080 supposedly being nearly DOA, or maybe it's not. We'll have to figure that out. And also some interesting news regarding Ryzen 7000 series. And also we're going to have to talk about Elon Musk because he's just gone absolutely crazy. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And I'm just excited to hang out and chill out with you guys. But how are you doing, Jerry?
I'm not doing too bad. I can't see right now, cleaning my glasses. But other than that, pretty good. I'm on vacation, so I'm having a blast, bro. I
Cool.
don't gotta work. This is work technically, I guess, but
Come on, can you
I
call
like
it that, you know?
it. Yeah, exactly. I like it. If this was work 24/7, I'd be happy.
That's not too bad. You guys will have to let me know in the stream if the stream is looking and sounding okay. Since I changed over to my 13700KF, I've done it on a fresh Windows install, and I somehow lost my stream settings. So I've done everything from scratch. So if it sounds a bit odd, let me know and I can fix it. But we'll see how it goes. I think it looks okay, but we should be right. But
What was the price difference between the K and the KF?
it's been like 30 to 40 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. It was a decent jump up. There was no need for the regular K because it's just gonna have a GPU, so I don't really care about the integrated graphics on it
Yeah.
really, and save a bit of money as well, so it's not too bad. But the system's holding up pretty well, to be fair. I've done a lot of editing on it, and what gaming have I been playing? I've been playing some GTA. That's been pretty cool. Gaming wise, been holding up pretty well. But if you put it through Cinebench, it's a toasty boy. Like seriously, it is pulls up to like what was it? It was like 230, 250 watts, and it was very quickly like getting like up to like the 80s, 90s, even with a decent
Does it
cooler.
hit
Was
does it
that?
hit 95?
I did it. I only did like one run just to see the score, so I haven't really tested too much
Oh,
for
okay.
temperatures. But temperatures and everything else when it comes to like video editing and gaming, all perfectly fine. It's great for editing. I'm getting on really well with it, to be fair. And today will be a bit of a test for the stream, even though, to be honest, most of it's going to be on my GPU because I'm using NVENC anyway. But you know, it's still good to finally try it out with with a stream as well. But yeah, how's Vegas? I haven't had a chance to catch up
Pretty
with you
good,
guys.
man. It went by pretty fast, but I liked it. It was chill. I was pretty hammered the whole time, so
That's the way to be.
that's yeah, that's always fun. And I was pretty much like doing tour guide, so I got halfway through filming it. I was doing the vlog, and then dude, like all the stuff I did end up filming, I never really got to finish. So I was just like, I'm just gonna scrap it anyways.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh, never mind.
yeah, it's just because like I said, since I was like the tour guide and driver, I had to keep like figuring stuff out, what we're gonna do and where we're gonna go and how to get here. And then by the time I had to like I was done rushing and everything, I was like, oh, I forgot to film this. So like that was the part where I started filming like, where we went to go eat some Mexican food and stuff and then I ate it and then I forgot to show what we ordered.
Oh,
And so
that's not quite what you
yeah.
need to be doing in a, like a vlog sort of thing. But
Yeah.
so are you the only one that had been to Vegas before?
My wife went and then there was four of us and then the other two didn't haven't been there, so
So it's kind of like you and your wife were kind of like the just like you
pretty
said, like
much
tour
yeah,
guides
I was pretty
basically.
much the tour guide. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Well, it sounds like it was good though. So you went for was it your cousin's
My
birthday?
sister-in-law.
Your sister-in-law. Sorry, that's it. It's for her
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah, she turned 21, so that's pretty cool.
That's a pretty good 21st. I can't remember what I did for mine. My 21st, I probably just got drunk about a couple of miles from
Yeah,
where I am now. That's about it.
yeah, I did the same too. Just in my small little town city, just drank at the local bars and that's it.
Yeah,
And with friends.
over here. It's a little different. We got pubs. That's like the difference. We have pubs we go to more
Okay.
often than not. But I don't know. Vegas for your 21st. That's a pretty good idea to be fair. But so did you check out any? What else did you do out there? Was it just drinking, checking out the
Pretty
sights?
much. Yeah, I didn't really go to any shows. We did. There's a high roller that's like a giant Ferris wheel that takes you like over the strip pretty much. Went
Oh,
on
okay.
that. Gambled a bit. Didn't lose, probably lost like 40 bucks gambling, which
That's not
is
bad.
not bad all things considered. I went up, I went down, won it all back, lost it all, won it again, and just yeah.
That's the way it goes. Didn't bump into any of the Hangover crew. No, nothing like that.
No, no celebrities that I know of.
No Mr. Chow. Nothing like
No
that.
Mr.
Didn't see him.
Chow.
Damn. I watched that. Funny enough, I watched those films the other day, and
Nice.
I know the last two kind of get a bit of flack, but I still quite enjoy them. The first one's obviously the
Yeah.
best one, but like the second one was basically the same film but in Thailand, and the third one was a
When I
little bit different, so they did change up a little
yeah.
bit. But I like them. Uh,
The first one my friend had on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. I don't know exactly what it was when we were younger at the time. And when we'd go over to his house, that's all he would ever put on, so I got tired of that that movie.
that'd be a little bit much if they put it on all the time. I
Yeah.
would bet. I
Yeah,
bet.
every
Yeah.
time, dude. Like in the background, I guess. I was just like, God damn, dude, put music on or something. I'm tired of seeing this.
Do you think when that film came out, there must have been like a huge surge in people going to Vegas for like their like bachelor stag parties, dressed up as
I
the
think so.
Hangover? Yeah,
Yeah, I think everything just probably boosted after that. It would make sense.
they probably would
I
have hated
saw
the people coming up. They would have been like messing around, throwing mattresses out off the like hotels and stuff. But
yeah, yeah, sure it is. They probably got a booming business, but they also probably got a lot of dumb people doing dumb stuff as
most
well.
likely. But
I would
yeah.
say I saw that who was it that was it Gaming 187 that watched the Evil Dead trilogy?
Oh yeah, he posted about that last night. I've only seen the first two, but they're absolutely
Yeah.
wild. Like
Yeah.
but the franchise has like a huge like diverse amount of stuff. Like there's the films, and then there's also a TV show I think on Netflix, and then they've
No,
also got
it was on Stars.
oh okay, it might have been on that then. But also they had the game came out a couple of months ago. There's a lot
Oh,
of
I
stuff
know.
going on
I've been
for
wanting
it.
to play that.
Apparently it's good.
It's like the Friday the 13th kind of game where you like you're surviving four survivors or something against the enemy.
Yeah, it was something like that. So it's like a bit of like a co-op multiplayer type deal, but it did actually look pretty cool. Um,
If that ever goes on sale, we should try that one day as a like have a group of people we know play that.
that'd be a good one. Well, after the stream, I'll add it. I'll add it to my wish list, and I'll keep an eye on it. That could be a good one. And we could also get like the guys on Discord on there as well. That could be pretty fun. But yeah, Evil Dead. I haven't seen the third one. Spoiler alert: if no one's ever seen Evil Dead before, but I think it's been out for a while now, so
Yeah, it's
it's not
been
bad.
out for like 30 years.
The third one, he's gone back in time. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, the second one
yeah,
is
they
probably
get
my
wild.
out of the two. The second one is my favorite so far, but I'd like to see
Yeah,
the
for
other ones as
sure.
well. But
I saw, dude, I saw that one when I was a kid, man.
is it,
I was like 8 years
I only
old.
saw it like a couple of months ago. Like I was quite late to the party, if I'm being honest. Like, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
good.
movie it kind of traumatized me for a bit when I was younger.
Oh, I suppose it would if you were watching it when you were younger. But
Yeah, and then but then because my dad owned it, and so I checked. I thought the cover was like pretty cool. It was like a skull with the eyeballs in it still.
I know the one. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then I remember I was like, oh, let me check this out, and it fucking scared the shit out of me.
Oh
And then
yeah,
I ended up watching it more over time, and then I was like, oh, this is sick. I was like, the guy chops off his hand and has a chainsaw.
that's
I
yeah.
was like,
It's a
yeah,
bit out there for for a horror, I would say.
yeah,
It is good though, but yeah, it did remind me when I saw what's his name, Rugby Gaming posted it in the Discord. I was like, I'll have to check it out and try and get a bit more into the series as a whole, anyway. But I am trying to watch a bit more horror. I know that's kind of like it's horror, but it's kind of like slapstick in parts, you know.
yeah.
But stuff like that, you know, it's just to change it up, you know.
I'm probably gonna watch Smile. That one's on HBO right now.
Yeah, I was thinking
Uh,
about that one. I've seen it advertised quite a lot in the UK, but
yeah, and I heard it's not too bad. I heard it's a pretty good movie, surprisingly. I thought it looked really dumb, like in the previews, but
people are saying it's good.
people say it's actually
Yeah.
yeah, not bad. Even if it's 3 out of 5, that's good for me.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know then, because I was thinking about going to see that one. So, tell you what I have nearly got to the end of. I'm nearly at the end of Better Call Saul.
Oh, jeez, barely.
So I'm on episode 7 of season 6. So I think there's only like 3 episodes left, basically, something like that. Um,
Yeah,
and I'm excited because I know I'm not gonna say anything because I know like some people might not have actually seen it, but like I know that 2 people show up that I quite like from another thing, but we're not gonna
yeah.
I'm not gonna say about that. But I'm really enjoying
Um,
it.
so the last episode you watched was in the past?
No,
No?
oh yeah,
Okay.
in the past, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Okay.
only just got The Office, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
But I love the guy Yalo, Tony Dalton.
Lalo, that was his name. Yeah,
He
Lalo.
is so good. Like it's
Oh yeah.
crazy. uh, I saw him in
Yeah, they showed
Hawkeye
that part,
first.
right?
Uh, right, I won't say which part because I don't know who's gonna be watching, and I
Yeah.
also don't want to hear the wrong
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he's really good. He was in Hawkeye. I didn't realize he was in the Hawkeye TV series. I don't know if you would have seen that one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
he was supposed to be the bad guy.
that's it. Yeah, there was a bit of like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
a switch on
That's
that,
a
but
very
he's really
yeah.
good. And he was introduced
He yeah,
he was quite introduced
he
quite
was
early, wasn't he?
yeah, I would say
Early-ish.
he was on there on Hawkeye after this show. I think this show kind of made him a little more popular.
Hmm. It would have been
Yeah,
that.
surprised to see.
I would
Yeah,
think.
surprised to see him on the MCU.
Yeah, it's a little different, but he's so good as like the villain in this show because it kind of had the villain being more uh Salamanca's anyway, but like obviously Hector. But they obviously show us stuff like how he was like prominent before he had his incident and that made him like in a
Yeah,
wheelchair. That's not a spoiler because everyone knows he's in a wheelchair, so it's fine. I can see that.
yeah,
But he was kind of like the beginning villain, and then obviously they had to like, try to change that when he like became wheelchair bound. So it's really cool how they did that. But damn, it's so good. I really can't wait to get through it all now. Well, I can't wait to get through it, and
when
I'll be sad when it finishes. You know.
when I was in Vegas, I went past the souvenir shop. We're in a souvenir shop. I bought a shot glass, but there was like a little bell, and it said like "Welcome to Las Vegas," you know,
Oh yeah.
just a little souvenir. And this little kid just kept ringing it, dude. It was fucking annoying. And like I remember thinking like when I walked by, I'm like, "What the hell is Hector Salamanca in here?" Because it just kept going ding ding ding.
They had that when I can't remember if I said about it on the show before, but like when the last season of Breaking Bad finished, there was a quiz at like a local bar, and it was like Breaking Bad themed, so it was all questions about the show, like what's the name of this song that was in this episode, stuff like that. And then the final 2 teams would have to do a Salamanca standoff, and they'd have to answer like a question as quick as possible. But the first person who rings the bell gets to answer the question. And it was literally like those little old timey ones like he used in the show.
Yeah,
And
nice.
they had like these cocktails. I don't know what it was, but it was literally it looked like the blue like meth in the show.
Oh, okay.
But it was
It
like
was
a
probably
cocktail like that. Yeah.
like a AMF or uh geez, what else is it? AMF and I can't think of the other one. They're like mixed drinks.
There's that, but it had like a load of like crushed up ice, and it made your tongue turn blue. It was one of those like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's pretty
the
good.
AMFs. Have you ever had one of those?
What do you mean by AMF?
They're it's like a mixed drink, like at a bar or at a pub, I guess.
Okay, I like mixed drink. I don't know what it would have been like a load of random stuff
Yeah.
in whatever this was.
It's termed AMF for adios, motherfucker. Oops, sorry.
Ah, fair enough.
And yeah, it's got like 4 different liquor in it.
Yeah, that's what I would just call a cocktail, isn't it? I would
Yeah.
guess, you know.
Or how about trash cans? Have you ever had trash cans?
No, what do you mean by that?
No. Okay, it's pretty much the same thing, but they put an energy drink in it.
Okay, well we have a Jaeger bombs, a thing in the US.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, those are pretty old. Those
Yeah.
were during my prime.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right. I haven't
but
had those in a
we're
long
like,
time anyway, but like that's what I would think
yeah,
of, something like
we're
that.
like the same age, right?
Pretty much. I just celebrated my
Yeah.
28th birthday last week, so like are we
Oh,
close enough
wow.
there? You know?
Yeah, I'm 29, so.
Damn, you're old, bro.
Dude, you gotta wait a whole year to celebrate your birthday? That sucks.
Damn.
You gotta wait till the end of the. Mine's at the beginning, dude. February. I celebrate early.
Well, we're still waiting the same amount of time. I don't think it particularly matters, but
Yeah, but I got like 7 months,
you got a head
nine
start.
months
You
ahead
know,
of
you
you.
got a head start on life. Tech Lab
That's
UK,
good.
oi oi! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? How are you getting on with your Arc A770? I've seen a lot of
Hey,
pictures of the build you put it in, and you've tried to like color match it with like the Intel Arc theme, if that makes
yeah, it
sense.
looks nice, dude.
But looks good. I'm hoping you're getting on with it a bit better, and I'd also be curious to know if they've done much to support it since you purchased it. I know it's not been long, but like you would hope they're like keeping on it with the driver support anyway. Damn, I feel old now. Well, don't need to feel bad, you know. Like everyone's welcome here, regardless of age. There's no ageism in this stream, so nothing to be worried about. But we hope you're doing well. It's nice to see you stopping by. Um,
I was gonna
so
say, if you feel old, just think about this. Since you're a content creator in YouTube, you feel old us talking. You're like ancient in YouTube terms, because it's all about the young guys, I think, right?
yeah, I'll give you
All the
that.
kids. If you, I think if you're older like than 21 in YouTube, you're a dinosaur. So we're there with you, buddy.
Pretty much. I started way too late. I've had the channel. That's it. My first video is just over turned over 2 years. My first video was uploaded 2 years ago, which is not a very long time
Nice.
ago. But like going to a bit too late, you know. Never mind. Like I still find it strange that like Greg Salazar. You seen his channel?
Sounds familiar.
You probably know him if
I
you
think
saw
so.
him, but he's the same age as me. But he's obviously been doing it for a much longer time than I like on YouTube. It's a bit crazy to see like the sort of difference there. Arc is going fine. No real issues to be honest on anything. A few new beta driver drops have come, so that's good. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So it looks like they are doing stuff, but they obviously they have to be wary
It,
of who's jumping on with these drivers anyway. But because a lot of people had issues, they wouldn't even get display outs. So unless you're particularly tech
I was about
savvy,
to ask that.
um, and I shouldn't forget as well, like Jerry, you can step in on this as well because you've had an A770. How have you been getting on with yours?
Um, well, I stopped using it when I went on vacation, so I haven't really been using it. But I was gonna ask you, dude, every time I boot up my PC, the one of the displays wouldn't pop up. It'd either be the HDMI one or the display port. I saw a lot of people say
Hmm.
it was only their HDMI one, but mine was both. So I don't know. I've tried plugging it into different slots, see if that worked. It didn't really. So I would just have to restart my PC and it would boot up just fine. Weird. And like every time too. So that was a little odd.
Yeah, I know there's some strange things with like certain monitors with like wake on boot, like they won't recognize like an input straight away. But that is a noted thing that has happened with those R cards anyway. But it's a bit strange. I have to say though, it's I know
Kind of
that
right.
Tech Lab checked out the like the reference limited edition model, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
anyone else look at the one you've had. Like I've not seen much pop up
Mm,
about it, so that's why I thought it's quite cool that you're getting it out there with that one. But it's got such a
yeah.
weird fan design though. That's the one thing that throws me off. But
Yeah, that's
like,
what I kind of like about it.
so what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna keep it? Are you gonna sell it on? Return? You haven't decided yet.
I'm not too sure. Look, I show my dog too. Nice, huh? No, don't look it.
Give it
Look
to your
it.
dog.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna hold on to it for a bit and then figure out what I'm gonna do. I kind of wanted to keep it to see exactly how it matures, but I don't know. I kind of wasn't impressed by it at all. I
Yeah.
know that it is the first gen. I'm just not impressed by the price, man. $400 for um that for a 30. What did I say? $400 for a 6600.
Yes, but especially with prices on like AMD stuff and some Nvidia stuff is getting down really well, especially for RX 6600, which are like going
Yeah,
really well.
these are like 200 and well, this one's 220 right now, I think, but these are like $210 over here in the US, and they get pretty close to that performance. So for half the price, almost, it's kind of hard to tell people to go with that card. And then yeah, it's good in ray tracing, but unless you're gonna be gaming in 1080p at ray tracing, I don't really see why you would need to buy it.
Yeah. Do you think if they got it out like 6 months ago, maybe it would have been a different
Oh yeah.
discussion?
Yeah, when we kept saying to release the damn thing.
Yeah.
Especially with the AV1 encoder, man, or the codec, same thing.
Mm.
Especially with that, because that thing's a game changer, bro. It literally that, like I said, the 19-minute 4K 60 frame per second video rendered in 19 minutes. When I rendered it on the 3070 Ti, it took 32 minutes. And
It's pretty good
yeah,
going.
that's a big jump right there.
Um,
Um,
so I'm just jumping in. Like when you said about the HDMI issues, so Tech Lab just jumped in as well. So he said he had HDMI issues as per the original video, but DisplayPort has been fine. So could be a bit of a like a general thing, I suppose. And he said that's why
yeah.
we are keeping
Or maybe
ours. See how it matures over time. So it depends if you can fit it in, because obviously, like you had mentioned, you may be going for like a living room PC, but it depends if you can justify integrating that into that system. Do you know what I mean? But no,
yeah. And then I was kind of thinking like, oh, maybe it'd be nice to use it as like a streaming card, for people that want to stream.
yeah, with AV1 as
Since it
well.
has
Then
since it has the AV1. But then like I said in the video, I was like, well, it's a $400 card. And then what you're gonna want to game on, you're probably gonna be a high GPU at minimum, like a 6800 non-XT or 3070. And I'm like, that's already $500, $600 right there. Plus the 400, you're already like at 1,000. You might as well just get like a 4080, which has the AV1 and has
oh yeah.
a lot better performance. It's just,
Hmm.
well, supposedly.
But either way, like I still thought it was cool that that was like one of the first videos I've seen like for that card. I haven't seen anyone else do any content on it, so like you're getting a major jump up on that in that regard.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, it's not as popular as I was hoping, but then again, I kind of feel like how many people are looking up the Acer Predator Bifrost?
I don't know, but it's still there though, so there's no harm in it
Yeah,
anyway. And you
yeah,
managed to check out something that we've talked about for a very long time, which I think is quite cool.
yes, sir.
Uh,
Even all the crap I talked about it, I gotta back it up.
well, you're not supposed to do positive reviews all the time. Something's got to be bad sometimes, you
Yeah,
know.
I
Uh,
do, but you know what? It's one of my favorite designed cards. I think it looks amazing. Um,
it is unique,
it's
I'd say.
it's very hard to say it to show on screen, but in person, this thing's amazing. This is all metal. This is all metal right here, and the see-through plastic is a nice touch. But I don't know. Like this logo is very hard to see, the Predator one. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just a nice little touch. But whoops.
That's a nice endurance test for that microphone. I also like
Yeah.
I like that little dual 8-pin design. You know, like no one could ever get rid of those 8 pins. You know, just saying.
Oh no. What kind of dummy would test that out? Did you see Nvidia's official statement about their
No,
dongle? Are we gonna
I
talk
did
about that?
not. We can. Let me just find it. I'm
Oh,
sure.
okay.
I did see it posted, but like I want to see what they said about the adapter
Yeah.
specifically.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, before we get into the folder, this is all of the freehand talk, we freestyling.
Yeah, this is like the warm up. The warm up, you know, like we have to bit like an update on what's going on with the channels and whatnot. But before we get into any sort of topics, I just want to say, is there any what are we looking at for this week? You got a video lined up?
Just the update on my cousin's build. I got more parts that came in, and we're almost done. We're almost
Sweet.
done.
I'm looking forward to seeing
So
that.
yeah, oh,
Uh,
yeah. He
I suppose I can give this as a little update for what's going on with the channel this week as well. Is I've kind of stopped doing the news update videos for a Sunday. Main reason being they're like they don't have the same longevity as other videos because say I make a video on well the 4090 connector as I did do a video on that. It's only really relevant for a very short amount of time and then it kind of like tapers off. And for the effort that goes into doing a video like that, where I only spend like maybe like one Saturday morning working on it, I could spend that time working on an actual video that will have much better longevity and be more interesting to work on. So I'm gonna knock them on the head for a while and just stick to the regular stuff like the actual like videos on like hardware specifically and not so much news. Still covering the news
you
like on
could
the stream, you know, but
I say you could also make clips of this and covering any of the topics you went over.
yeah, I was thinking about that as well because like it'd be like a sort of like if I did like a highlights video sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just trying different things out. Like I tried doing that news video sort of like back in September when there was quite a big dip in terms of like viewership for the channel. So I was like, why not mess around and try some different stuff out while I'm at it? Like it's not gonna like harm anything, and it was quite interesting to do. I might do one here and there if I have something I want to talk about. Really like I really like to look at something, but you know. But I'm quite looking forward to it. I've got my video going up on my dead RX 580 on Thursday.
Nice.
That was disappointing. I was
Yeah,
so gutted.
I feel you.
I literally I just got the refund for it today. But I was like, it would have been so
You
good.
think it was a you think it was a mining card or
I don't know. Um, it could have been, but like,
I'm assuming.
there was nothing like one of the video was going to be a video on how to buy a used GPU. But obviously, it turned
Well,
into something else.
you should have made that same video.
But I like without like spoiling too much. Like I've already spoiled it. I said it was dead anyway. But like no one else knows about that so far. But like visually,
Exclusive.
it looked okay. It was a bit dusty on the PCB itself. So it had been in use. But it is a card that came out in like 2017, 2018.
Yeah, it's a
So,
pretty old card.
but no dice. I made sure like there was no drivers installed on the systems that they were running on. Nothing like that. Wouldn't even get a post screen. And I kept getting a VGA light on my debug LEDs, so clearly there was something going on. And these were systems I know for a fact worked. So
Jeez.
struck out and lost. But never mind. But before we go in, so yeah, like I said, there'll be like that video on Thursday, and I'll be just switching to just doing the weekly ones for a while, and we'll see how it goes. I've been having a lot of fun with my Steam Deck dock, so I'm gonna be doing a video of that
Nice.
next week.
Hell yeah.
It's really cool. It's really handy. Not so much. I haven't been using the dock for gaming, but it's really handy if I'm wanting to just like use the system in its like desktop mode for transferring games off my server and stuff like that, and just managing files. And if I wanted to, I can just use it like as a literal like dock system to use with a keyboard and mouse. Because it's hooked up to my KVM. It's pretty cool. I quite like it. So I'll be doing a video on that for next week. But
Dude, go for it. Were you gonna read the chat or are you gonna talk about something else?
I was just about to catch up on the chat. So we got the
Okay.
Hacking Nacho. Welcome to the stream. The art cards seem to be working really good in the home server and Linux environment. Now that's not something that I've actually paid much attention to, and I really should. But I'd be interested to see like what the sort of like level of quality performance would be in a Linux environment. I'm not sure if that's something you've dabbled much in at all, Jerry. But would that be something you would take a look at? Maybe Linux gaming with the
not.
A770? No.
Maybe, probably not. We'll see. I do have a Linux system behind me that's currently not in use, so that might be a good way to use that.
Or maybe
Test that
TechLab
thing
could
out.
check that out. That'd be good to see with the limited edition one he's got. And TechLab is back.
Maybe.
He switched PCs, but he's back now. Welcome back.
I thought he was Burger King.
No.
Oh, I just thought of something.
What's that?
You can read the next comment and then I can ask
So we got Twanas in the chat as well. It's nice to see you stopping by again as well. Is that a blower fan in the middle of the Acer? So on the one you've got,
you. Yeah.
it's acting as a blower.
Well,
Isn't it?
yeah, it is. It's the Acer Blade 3D fan. It's trademarked. But yeah, it is pretty
Yeah.
much. It's their it's metallic. It's all metal actually, that fan. It lights up too. It's very nice, very nice. If you want to check out more of how it looks like lit up, go ahead and watch my video about it. I got the it'd be the PC in the case chapter. But I was gonna say, does the Burger King is there Burger King around you guys?
Yeah, we got Burger King. There's one. Oh, it's like I don't like. You guys have highways, and we call them motorways.
Okay.
So the closest one I can think of is just off one of the motorways, about 15 minutes from where I live.
Okay. I would say the next time you want like a quick food or snack or something, maybe stop by Burger King and get whatever meal comes with the free Call of Duty skin. And
Do
how
they
about
do
you
they do
send
that
me
in the UK as well? I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's just UK.
Oh, it's just
That's why I
UK.
can't
Oh,
get it over.
okay.
Yeah.
I haven't had a Burger King in quite a few years, to be honest. So maybe I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I remember
know.
when when I finished secondary school or high school, as you would call it in the US. Me and my mates went to Magaluf in Spain. I'm not sure if you know Magaluf. Have you ever heard or watched The Inbetweeners? Or heard
No.
of it? No. It's lost on you, but it's in Spain basically. And I basically lived on Burger King in Spain. I swear it tasted a lot
nice.
better out there. You know, it was just it
Yeah.
was so much better than it was in the UK. They must have like less like sort of like restrictions on like what you go put in the food, and hence why it tasted
Yeah.
better. You know? But Yeah.
Yeah, they chemically knew what you wanted, huh?
Did you ever have they had a black Burger King burger? Like the buns were like black.
No, I know what you're talking about though. No,
Yeah.
it reminded me of the Krabby Patty on
Yeah.
that episode where he got poisoned, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Do you
I didn't
have?
do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you ever eat the Impossible Burger or like any of the Impossible meats?
No, I haven't really tried much of that, but I know there's a bacon place in the UK called Greg's. So they do stuff like sausage rolls and pasties and stuff like that. Stuff that's not very popular in the US, but it's very popular in the UK. And they do a vegan sausage roll, which is basically people say it tastes exactly the same as the regular one.
I
But
don't know.
it's a bit like pig in a blanket. Do you have that in the US?
Yeah, like yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's pretty much like a little weenie or sausage in a biscuit.
Little, it's similar. It's a little bit like that, but it's like more of a flaky pastry sort of thing.
Okay.
But enough talk about
Yeah, I
sausage
know what you're talking
rolls. We're
about.
not going to turn this into an absolute sausage fest, you know. So, the hacking
It already
nacho
is.
might also be worth checking out. DXVK Tvoken on Intel ARC cards for both Windows and Linux. It seems to fix most of all the issues that ARC cards experience in older titles. Well, that's going to be very interesting if Jerry gets around to any sort of Linux testing. I'm pointing the wrong way on the webcams. Also,
Yeah, it's
hit
fine.
up TechLab because I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot more content on the A770 as well. So it's always worth doing, and just check TechLab UK's channel out anyway because he's got some great stuff. And also check Jerry's channel out. I keep pointing the wrong way. I need to point this way
Yeah.
if I'm pointing to you. But like, yeah, check both of those guys
Yeah.
out. Um,
Check out Tech Lab, man. His PC's built pretty sick.
it looks dope. Did you get your 4080?
No, it got canceled fucking Office Depot, but I ordered it one today.
Oh, so you did get one. Ah, okay. Not
Yeah.
like it was difficult to get a hold of, if we're being totally honest. It kind of
Kind
leads
of
up.
was.
Really?
It sold out. And then today, I think I'll double check right now, but I think they're fully in stock today now.
Oh, okay. Well, it's very different in the UK in that case, but like,
That
I suppose it leads us up into what I was gonna like start off the stream with, and that
Let's
was in
go.
regards to RTX 4080 stock, which
Hell yeah.
it might be a bit more interesting then if things are different in the US. So we'll take a look. But either way, let's take a little look at this article from TechSpot to get a bit of context. So we got on here a rocky launch. Gamers are not buying Nvidia's RTX 4080, except for Jerry. Uh,
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm the exception, I guess.
So in the article it says on here, the launch of Nvidia's RTX 4080 has not gone well in terms of sales, with very weak demand for a high-end product. For the past few generations, not to mention during shortages, Nvidia was able to release anything and a significant number of people would flock to buy those GPUs. It would be typical for any new release to sell out almost instantly and buyers a little slow to hit the purchase button would have to wait a few weeks for the restock. That's been the norm for many years and has been especially true for the series that are most often in demand, like 80 series models. But with Ada Lovelace and the RTX 4080, this hasn't happened. Cards have not sold out instantly, and right now there's little difficulty buying an RTX 4080 if you want one. This is unusual and even contrasts to the RTX 4090's launch, which also did become unavailable shortly after release. Now, that is very much the case in the UK. If I wanted to get a 4080, I could very easily get a hold of one. But it's not sounding
Wow.
like that's the case for yourself, Jerry. So do you want to elaborate on that a little further?
Okay, so day one release, everything sold out. I don't know if that's was the case over there. Do they still have everything in stock or
I
good amount of stock?
checked. I checked Scan UK about 2 hours after launch, and they were still there. I didn't check it
Okay.
again for a while, but checking today, there's tons of models in stock. But if you elaborate further, what's on like in the US, I can show you the ones that are in stock in the UK as well, if you want to see that.
Okay. Well, mine will be a little shorter, so I guess we can talk about these first and then so I think Newegg just restocked yesterday on their GPUs and they got some 4080s in. But I'm looking at their inventory right now. Everything is sold out, but the Gigabyte Gaming OC GeForce RTX 4080. So the Gigabyte Gaming one. Um it's 1269 right now in stock. I click on it. It says I'll get it in uh, someday, the 28th. So pretty much a week from now.
Okay.
And the thing about this card, so there's a reason people don't like Newegg here. is because of their customer service. And so if you had bought this card off Newegg, limited to warranty, which is I think for every GPU 3 years, and that's through the manufacturer. Um, it doesn't say you'll get a refund on this card. So if you don't like this card, or since it's so much money, they won't pretty much let you return it. So that sucks.
Okay.
That's through Newegg though. So if you spend $1,269.99 with tax, it comes out to about like 13.30. You don't like it, you're pretty much shit out of luck. And then Best Buy just restocked today, and that's where I got my MSI Gaming X Trio. And they have stock in the Founders Edition 4080, the same Gaming OC 1269. The Gaming Trio is still in stock, 1309.99, and then with tax it comes out to like 1440. Um,
Mhm.
the Arrow, the white Gigabyte one sold out for 1300. The Gigabyte Eagle is 1200, and then the Ventus is 1250. So those are still in stock at Best Buy. It seems like Asus sold out. Oh, they never got the ROG in stock. Nope, the Tough Gaming's in stock still too. And the PNY's in stock. So yeah, everything's in stock at Best Buy today. They just released it this morning.
Okay, I still think
So.
that you couldn't say the same, like looking back on like the RTX 3080 though, if we're like trying to draw
Oh
comparisons.
no.
But like, it does seem like there is like a significant difference with the RTX 4080, and I do legitimately think it seems really off the mark when it comes to the pricing. Let's be brutally honest. Like it is the 3080 Founders Edition from Nvidia was £650 or $700 in the US, I think.
Yeah,
And then
something like that.
AIBs were in like the ballpark of around 800 to 900, I think.
An
Um,
additional $100 to $200 per, depending on the manufacturer and whatnot, right?
and also if you're getting scalped a bit by some retailers as well, or even if you're just getting scalped
Yeah.
by scalpers in general. So like there's a bit of a premium. But the jump up from the 3080 to the 4080 seems very disproportionate to what you're actually getting in return. I do feel like they are trying to like well, before I get further into it, like
Here we go.
let's take a look at some UK pricing as well, just to get a bit of
Okay.
an idea.
So, but you're pretty much saying they're almost doubling the price of the 4080, right?
Well, pretty
At
much.
least
That's
a
what they've done.
40% markup. Yeah.
And like, if we're
Uh,
drawing comparisons between that and the 4090, you're getting roughly like a sort of like 30% drop off in performance. So like, maybe they want people going for 4090s more than anything. But before we
yeah.
get to that though, let's take a look at the ones
Let's
we've got
go.
in stock in the UK. So I'm on Scan UK, and literally, like, you can see there's an absolute ton of, well, not ton, but there's a lot is in stock. And they're all sort of like in a similar sort of ballpark to what you were describing for Newegg and Best Buy, as most of these are around 1,300 to £1,400. There's a couple that are over 1,500. Let's take like the most expensive one I can see in stock currently is the Asus RG Strix OC edition, which is going for £1,608. That's
And
Would you just get
can
a
you make a
4090 at that point? Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, can you make a duplicate tab on that and just keep it like sidelined so we can compare that with the 4090 maybe?
okay, yeah, we'll keep that there. What else have we got? Do you want me to find the 4090 first before we move on for that model
Now
specifically?
we can move on and then we'll check out the 4090s because
Okay.
after.
So what else have we got on here? Let's go on the flip side and look the cheapest one that is in stock.
Yeah.
So we got a Zotac Trinity. Trinity? Is that like a new name for one of their cards? I can't remember if I've seen that before.
No,
But
they've I think they've had it.
I'm not sure. I haven't really used any Zotac cards. I'm not very familiar with their like product lineup. But that
You know,
one's go.
I never tested out the Zotac 30 series either.
Or maybe now's your time. That might be a good time to try to check it out.
Yeah.
But this one is going for £1,306, and that's the cheapest one. Um, do you
What do you
know how
think
much
about the design?
well,
The
for
rounded
The
edges.
Zotac one in particular?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with the design. They're chunky boys. I think we've known that with all the 40
Yeah,
series cards
yeah.
so far. Um,
I would say the Zotac ones are like round instead of like the brick. I guess they look more like an eraser than a
It's pretty curvy.
than a brick.
Real GPUs
Yeah.
have curves. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But
Ah.
looks fine. What's the other ones we got on here? Hit me with a brand that you want to check out.
Might as well check out the Gigabyte.
Gigabyte, what we got?
They have they got like three
Uh,
different tiers.
let's take a look at the Aero OC. So we got that one on there. It's pretty. I thought this was the Vision card at first, but I can see it's a little different to that typical one.
Is it the white one?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Okay.
going for £1,449. So about
Yeah, you're
150
paying for that
over.
paint.
You are. The problem is there is a white tax on hardware, and I think people don't
Sounds
talk
very
about this enough. It sounds a bit bad the way that I described it, but like I built an all-white PC for my friend a while back. If anyone's curious, there's a video of that on the channel. It's called the Vision PC because it was based around the Gigabyte Vision card. And yeah, white case, a white all-in-one cooler, white GPU, white power supply.
White motherboard.
The motherboard wasn't white though. That was the only thing. It was it was a
Oh.
B550 Mortar Wi-Fi, so it's like greyish, you know. But like anyway, it's by the side point. But like the stuff that is colored white is just more expensive, and like
Yeah, and not only that, but they never drop in price either.
no,
Yeah.
but yeah, but there is that's a topic for a whole for a different day. Like the fact that white products cost more, and like I said, it's like GPU no GPUist, but
Yeah.
there you go. But yeah, that's the Aero OC. What else we got? And directly, well, for the exact same price, you got the gaming OC from Gigabyte. What was the one you said you got? I can't remember now.
The MSI Gaming Trio X.
MSI
So
Gaming Trio
MSI
X.
has a couple of them as well.
Do we have that one on here in stock? MSI.
Like my dog's really happy to be chilling right now on the stream.
Yeah, it's good to see her stopping by. How's she doing?
She's doing good.
Yeah, that's all right. The only MSI one I can see in stock. Oh no, they don't have an MSI one in stock. No, the MSI ones they're not currently on offer at the moment, so I don't have a pricing on those. So it may vary from like brand to brand either way, like where we're looking. TechLab UK, 4080 is a joke product. Let it rot on shelves. Well, I think that's what we're looking at currently. Now,
I didn't get the
joke.
joke.
Well, apart from Jerry, because he actually bought one, you know. But like Jerry's got to get
Oh, no,
content.
but
He's got to
no.
get content out there, guys. You know.
Not that. I was just saying I don't get the joke that Nvidia made. Ripping us off. That doesn't sound like a good joke to me. You bastard.
But the interest is very minimal compared to normal. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
like I said, I do believe a lot of that is tied down to price specifically. But we do also have to consider the fact that not long now, and we're going to be seeing the 7900 XTX and the 7900 XT very soon, which seem poised to like target the RTX 4080 pretty well. Whether they perform as good, we'll have to wait and see. But it's not going to be long now. December 13th, which, if I look at my calendar, is about 2-3 weeks away. Not long
Let's
now.
just say 3 weeks. Yeah.
Pretty much. But it's not long. So maybe people are holding out for that release before making a decision and going for a 4080.
But did anybody hold out for the 4090?
I don't think people did. But I do think there's been a particular struggle after launch because of the issues with the connector.
Yeah.
But since
Yeah, bad press is never good.
there's that, but then I said I didn't remember much about this video statement, but I do remember tidbits. But obviously, Gamers Nexus put that video out where they actually were the first people to have it on video how the connector fails, and they did tie it down to like user error more than anything. It's probably a good thing that we're jumping onto this because obviously like we did talk about this a couple of weeks ago, but they basically tied it down to like depending on the sort of way it's oriented, but also a lot of people may not be fully seating the cable as well, which is the main thing that seems to be causing the actual like
Oh,
disconnection.
I wanted to ask you about that too. Do you really think that that's the biggest issue? Or I know it was kind of proven, but at the same time, it kind of feels like Nvidia is saying that just so it can be like, no, it's not our fault. It's the people that are buying them.
Well, should we look at the statement while we've got
Yeah,
it? I did pull it up just now. So where is the statement on here? Let's have a little look.
yeah. Let's see. We're getting into the
Uh,
conspiracy theories.
okay, so I'm going to paraphrase from like this article I found on here from Tech Radar. So here we go. So Nvidia wrote, "We are actively investigating the reports. We are aware of about 50 cases globally. That is a very small number if you put it into the grand scheme of things. I
Yeah,
have I have no idea how many 4090s were sold, but it's a lot. So
yeah,
50 cases is extremely minimal. Thinking about the sort of like rough scale of how much they're selling, that's like a 0.1% amount of people, maybe even less. Anyway, so our findings to date suggest that a common issue is that connectors are not fully plugged into the graphics card. To help ensure the connector is secure, we recommend plugging the power dongle into the graphics card first to ensure it's firmly and evenly plugged in before plugging the graphics card into the motherboard. Now, that's an interesting recommendation to try out if it does help. Nvidia concludes, we are investigating additional ways to ensure that the connector is secure before powering on the graphics card. Now, a lot of that could be helped out quite a lot by Cable Mod with their 90-degree connector. So, but that's Cable Mod. Like, they're not responsible for ensuring that these connectors get out into the wild. So that's a whole different thing, you know. But it did say, obviously, so there are people have been affected by this anyway and had issues with their cards. So they have said an expedited RMA process, regardless of the cable or card used. So replacement RTX 4090 cards or boards will be issued sparingly to all affected users. So yeah, I hadn't read the actual statement fully, but that was basically the gist of what I knew for what was going on for it. But based on the numbers that they're saying, about 50 cases globally, it leads me to believe, and we did say this as well, people won't complain that their card works, but people will complain very vocally if there's an issue with their card, which is the case with any issue online, either way. So that minority is going to seem very vocal compared to the majority of people who are having no issues with their 4090. But
So I was say I've pulled up an article right here that said on launch there was 130,000 4090 sold,
okay,
which doesn't seem like a lot. And then it says since launch, uh, yeah, no, that's the only thing it shows. So 50 out of what 130,000, the technically that's a 0.038461 whatever, it keeps going on. So pretty much a 0.03% of consumers affected by that.
I do apologize. I'm a
So
little distracted because I just poured Guinness on my leg.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you're dirty. Who are you
Damn.
gonna have drink that, huh?
It looks like I pissed myself. 2
That's
seconds.
all right. But yeah, anyways, so like you said, it doesn't seem like too many people were affected by that. But I just don't like the fact that Nvidia kind of didn't really say much about it, that they were looking into it or anything, or they didn't say anything about anything.
It
And
took it
then
took a long time, I
yeah,
would
and once
say.
they finally do talk about it, it does kind of seem like well, they're blaming us for it. Even though I'm pretty sure if 50 people only had those issues, I doubt all 50 of those people didn't plug it in um securely or halfway through. I find that
Yeah.
very hard to believe because anyone that's buying a 4090, I'm pretty sure they're tech savvy anyways. Because
Uh,
I don't see the
you'd
the
be surprised on that though, because think of the amount of people who would buy a 4090 because it is the best of the best.
the best of the best. Yeah, I
So that's
understand that, but 50 or the a good amount of them didn't plug it in right. Do you think that's I don't know. I call bull on that. I think that's Nvidia just kind of trying to save its own image, saying like, "Oh no, it's not our fault. It's a user error fault. It's not you smart PC master racers. It's these new guys."
yeah, and maybe you could pin that down to obviously it is like a fairly new cable standard as well. So like maybe there is still some teething issues. So they should maybe acknowledge that as well.
Yeah.
Um, it could be that. Before we continue, though, just thought I'd jump into the chat. So L91, the crew is here. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. It's nice to see you stopping by. Um, yeah, so there is blame on both sides, if we're being totally honest. But I do believe that the issue with the connector maybe could have put a lot of people off the 4090 and maybe the 4080 as well. And now that it's been sort of cleared up fairly publicly by both Gamers Nexus and this statement by Nvidia, that could instill a bit more faith in buying either card. And maybe we'll see sales improve for the 4080 as well as the 4090. Although the 4090 hasn't struggled as much as the 4080.
Yeah, and it says on launch day the 4080 had 30,000 units available.
Okay, so there's a bit of a difference there.
Yeah, and they still weren't able to sell out. Like you said, they were still in stock at many places you were.
Oh yeah.
So that's not good.
But now, if we're as a sort of retrospective looking back at the 4080, which only came out, it was last week now, wasn't it? Yeah, it was last week. So maybe this will change, like I said, when AMD comes out with their hardware. Maybe we'll see some sort of bounce back to Nvidia on their side, where people will be more happy to go for the 4080 compared to the 1700 XTX or XT. But I have to wait and see. But what is curious, I wasn't actually going to bring this up on the show because I kind of forgot about it. But have you heard the rumors regarding the 4070 Ti that is potentially coming in January?
No, what, the old 4080?
Yeah, basically. So the 4080 12 gig, it seems like it is going to be rebranded as the 4070 Ti. Won't look into it too much on the show now, so I should probably find a decent article with a bit more info on it. But maybe we can take a look at that close to the time when it does crop up. But
this is the water cooler talk.
Oh yeah, exactly. But before we kind of close out on the 4080, it's going to be very interesting when you get a hold of yours, because we can kind of get a lot more context in terms of performance and also some additional tidbits on this 12VH power connector. And are you going to do any long-term tests and see if you can melt a cable? Or is that too much to ask?
No, I'm not going to try that, man.
A bit much.
Yeah.
But
if I had gotten one for free, maybe.
Sure, you'd be right.
I'd do a segment of how much adult content can you watch before mounting your GPU. I feel like that's probably 40% of users out there.
Have you seen Bitwit's 4080 review?
No, I have not. The only ones I watched was Jay's 2 Cents and Gamers Nexus.
Okay, but he uploaded this review yesterday, and he said, it came with the 4080 starter kit. So opened up a box, had the 4080 founders in there, and also had a fire extinguisher.
Nice.
What was the other thing he had? Aloe vera, burn ointment, stuff like that.
Okay. Burn treatment.
And then there was a picture frame with someone giving the middle finger, something like that. There's something else in there. I can't remember what it was.
It wasn't Jensen?
No. There is a bit where he has a picture of Jensen on the wall and he licks his face. So
okay. Odd.
It's a good video. I definitely check it out. It was interesting because he shows how much a gaming PC that costs the same as the 4080 performs compared to the 4080 on its own.
Okay, I saw a tweet on that. They showed the half, I think it was probably his tweet, but it just showed the picture of the 4080 and then the system he built on the right side for the same price.
So here's how the $1,200 system sounds. And then there's a sound level bit showing off. And here's what the 4080 sounds like. And it's just silent because it's not even plugged into anything.
Yeah. Oh, I thought they were gonna show an atomic bomb. Just going off.
He's I tried out some games on the 4080, but it got really boring just staring at a blank screen. Just so I'd recommend checking that out. That's pretty good. But I said, so like I was saying, I am excited to see your take on it when you've actually got more hands-on with the card. And
I don't like watching too much about the cards because I kind of don't want to get influenced by any other content creators, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Gamers Nexus, they do a crazy breakdown of everything, so that's why I like watching it. And then Jay's 2 Cents, he's like I said, he's more of entertainment to me when I think of the content creators
Yeah,
than more like informational. So that's why I watch that, just because it keeps me interested when I listen to it. But and then I gotta watch your channel. I'll watch Tech Lab's channel. It's just like it's a lot of stuff to consume. So I'd rather just focus as much as I can on your guys' stuff and
yeah,
then their stuff. Oh, and then Walsh Tech too. So that's what I'm saying. It's like if I watch every single and then Paul's hardware too. Sometimes I'll watch some of his stuff.
yeah. I like Paul's hardware, but it is nice when you're watching like the smaller guys on YouTube, and you get a decent range of hardware covered, like even by us guys who aren't getting sampled every week as well.
Oh
If
yeah,
you think about like the amount of cards that you look at, I don't tend to look at cards as often, but I do stuff on like CPU coolers and cases when I can, and just random bits like that. And like same goes
perfect.
like obviously for like Tech Lab, if we're just calling him out. So there's a lot of content on like older hardware as well as newer hardware as well. And he's just put up a review of the H5 Flow from NCXT, H5 or H10. I keep mixing it up. So stuff like that, and then I'm gonna call out L91 as well because he's in the chat and he's an absolute like madman when it comes to ITX builds. So
Yeah, I
even
know. He's crazy.
even with the smaller crew, like you're seeing like a decent mix of hardware shown off, and yeah, and Welsh Tech as well. He covers an absolute ton of coolers and cases. So we're all covering that similar spectrum of hardware that the bigger guys get to look at on a daily basis. So it's nice when we can watch those and support each other in that regard as well. Anyway,
You
but
remember watching Power Rangers when you were younger?
are you going to talk about the one that died the other day? Did he
No,
die?
that's yeah, he did. Well, I guess we'll have to talk about that now because I wasn't going there. But anyways,
Okay.
rest in peace to the Green Ranger. Apparently he committed, or I don't know if I could say this without you getting demonetized, but he
He
unalived
he he,
himself.
he alt F Ford in
There
real
you go.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
himself.
Right. Okay.
Because they're saying because he got divorced, his wife,
Oh
he got
damn.
cheated on his wife or something like that. Yeah, that's pretty sad. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think things could have got better, but
It's a
you know,
difficult time.
it's sad. Yeah, it's sad to hear, but kind of segue away from
So back to
this
what you were saying about
and
Power Rangers. What was
and
it
a
you were
not
going to say?
disrespectfully way.
No, I
I was
didn't
gonna
mean.
say we're kind of like at the end when the Megazords combined, each has their own, each Power
Yeah.
Ranger is their own individual part. I was gonna say we're Megazord.
Yeah, it was like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Was the
That's where I was going. That's where I was going with this.
This is a bit of a segue again, but did you see the film? There was a recent Power
The
Rangers
newer one?
film. Yeah, was it any
Yeah.
good?
It was okay.
Because yeah, Bryan
I wouldn't
Cranston as
recommend
like
watching it.
the disembodied
As
head.
Zordon?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've watched Power Rangers, I can remember absolutely nothing about it. I like the one where they're on the island, like that film. I can't remember which one that was now, but that's a bit of a throwback. Like I had Power Rangers like bed covers back in the day. I was one of those kids, like
Yeah, me too. I
wallpa-
fought to be the
wallpaper
Red
and
Ranger
all
at
that.
school.
Oh yeah, but then turning back very drastically to real life, wasn't one of them a murderer? Was it
Was
was
it?
something really
Jeez.
wild. Am I making that up? I'm sure I'm
I
not.
don't. Was it the nerd? The blue one?
I'm gonna Google this.
Jeez. Dude, you're wild today with your Power Ranger stuff. You're crazy. And then I remember people would always give flack too because the yellow Power Ranger was Asian and the black one was the black Power Ranger. And a
Oh,
lot of people were like, "Ah, that's pretty racist."
I'm right. So have I look. So it's Ricardo Medina Jr., who was Cole Evans, the red Power Ranger.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and it says he's currently
Which
was there.
Power Ranger was this? The old ones, like the turboed one, the
Um,
dinosaur one, I don't know. I stopped watching
Wild
after the
Force.
Yeah, okay, well, I don't think I ever saw that.
But yeah, so he was convicted. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Like, if anyone wants to take a look, then
Yeah.
go for it. But so he's in prison for 3 years for voluntary manslaughter of his roommate. So,
Oh, dang. Voluntary, yeah.
but yeah, I was definitely like I was near enough on the lines, but like we won't go too far into that. That's a whole different rabbit hole. But yeah, so like I said, just to kind of close things out on the 4080, that's my main thing is that I'm curious to see what's going to happen when the AMD cards come out. But I'm also very excited to see, Jerry, you yourself getting hands-on with it as well. And then once you've got a bit more context, we can talk about it a lot more informed, like on your side of it on stream. So if you want to share that with everyone in the stream at a later date, that'd be very useful as well, I think.
Oh yeah, probably like 2 weeks from now. And the only thing too, there's been an update on the 30 series cards, on the last driver, pretty much the last Call of Duty driver update, and a lot of the games I do test got like about a 5% improvement from a performance update. So
Okay.
I'm pretty much gonna have to start my charts all over again when it comes to the NVIDIA cards. So
You're going to be in for a very
on the
busy couple of weeks.
yeah, for the 4080 one, I might just say like these games here had a 5% increase, so these are just to kind of compare to what it was previous, like on launch, maybe like closer to launch, I guess. Not even because even since then they had upgrades too.
Well, I know when
But
the 4090 launched, there was a pretty hefty driver update which improved performance on 30 series quite significantly.
yeah,
Um,
like on Cyberpunk, on Forza Horizon, pretty much all the games, like half the games I test, they did a performance upgrade.
yeah.
So
But it seems like it's
that's
got even further now. But like, so what cards do you want to reveal that? What cards you're going to test in your 4080 review?
oh, I'm just gonna test I have a 3070 Ti on hand, the EVGA for the Win 3, and I'll just probably put the date on that one, and then just from there I'll be like the rest of these cards are older, just so you can kind of compare the performance, just because I'll have something to reference to. If not, I still got all these AMD cards on the hand too, so
Oh, there you go.
we'll see.
There we go.
I do want to get a 3080 or a 3080 Ti, 3090 Ti. So I might leave those on the charts, or if I can get one on hand, then that'd be nice.
That'd be good. This is a bit of a random one, but you reminded me earlier because you mentioned about the build you're doing for your cousin. Do you still want some Lightwings fans? You after any fans?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them. I could always use them.
I got 3. Do you want them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to send them back.
No. Well, let's be quiet.
Nice.
Says like, we'd actually like those fans back, please. Then we may have to think about something else. But like,
Yeah. Then he could send them back.
but like, no, they're his to have. So like, I know it's gonna be a bit late for like the video you're doing on Friday, but it's not the final video. But like, I just remembered now because I was doing some work. No, that's what it was. So when I gutted my system to put in my Z690 3700KF like platform swap, I realized how much I hate cable management for RGB again, and I'm like, nah, I'm getting rid of these. So,
Yeah.
And you know, just to support the homies, you know, I thought
Right.
I'd send some over as a courtesy package from PC Jack, as I like to do every now and again. So, remind me after. I need to replace them with. I'm gonna get some NFA 12s with no RGB
Dude,
because I'm that guy.
when I was in Vegas, I don't know. Do you have a bar at your house?
A bar.
Yeah, like where you
Uh,
make drinks.
I have a breakfast bar.
You have a
Not quite the same
like,
thing.
Do you ever make? Well, where do you place your alcohol in the cabinets?
Just in a cupboard. But like
Yeah.
I think as everyone on the stream clearly knows, I drink like lager more than anything, or Guinness, like stouts. I do drink Jack Daniels on occasion, but like that's not much I do. All I do is I just pour a glass of Jack Daniels and have a bit of ice, and that's about it. I don't
Oh.
drink it like as a shot, anything like that. I just like to sit back and just have a couple of
Sip on
sips.
it.
You know what I mean?
You like to be proper.
I like it on the rocks. You know.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I was asking is they had a mat. You know those drinking mats that they have at the bars or pubs?
Yeah, I know
Like
the
it
ones.
catches
Yeah.
anything that they're like little pokey. Well, they had a Guinness one for like $10. I found one in
Oh, cool.
and I was like, oh, I might buy that. And I was like, man, with all the shipping and shit, it's gonna cost to send a PC Jack.
It might not be
I was
worth
like,
it
I
for
don't
something
think.
that cheap. But
Yeah,
talking to Guinness, I
but I was
I
like,
had a Guinness pint glass off my my fiance. So just I thought
oh, nice.
I'd show that for the stream. You know, so it's like a Guinness advert
She,
now.
yeah,
if
so she is.
if anyone from Guinness is watching, like we'll happily accept like a
Yeah.
Guinness sponsor. You know. I was like, oh,
She is a keeper.
mhm,
She proved it.
most definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, remind me after the stream. But I'll have to get those taken out of my system, and I'll be sure to send them your way and help out the cause with getting your cousin's PC looking even better.
Yeah, you're just gonna see me on the video when I'm building it. These fans are a piece of crap. Why would I'm
I'm
just
like, damn
kidding.
it.
Why would it blows up the PC?
It's like these fans don't be quiet
What's
at
good?
all.
Yeah. No, just kidding. No, be quiet makes awesome stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty good fans, all things considered. I gotta say,
Well,
they they're pretty quiet. They didn't perform as well as some of the other fans I've tested on the channel, but they're still good fans, and they do look nice. Uh,
this is part of his build.
oh sweet. So yeah, it'll help out a little bit. Just get that RGB goodness up there. You can take some
Yeah.
RGB from me because I clearly don't appreciate it whatsoever, and put it into your cousin's build. So it'll be absolutely fine.
Oh yeah.
uh,
He's gonna love his build.
oh yeah, I'm excited to see it when it's finished. Shall we get into our next topic? Because we've spent an awful
Oh
long
yeah.
time
Oh
talking
yeah.
about 4080, but like it was quite pressing. That was like I had a lot to say about that, but something I did
Yeah.
want to draw
Well, the
attention.
4080 is new. We didn't talk about it last week, so makes
Yeah,
sense.
we had a lot to cover on that, but like we also have to talk about Ryzen 7000 series
Let's
because
go.
things are looking fairly promising if you were considering investing in a Ryzen 7000 series system. More so in regards to the CPU because price was a little high on certain ones, maybe towards like the lower end. We got the TechFlashback mascot on show there as well, even better. But as we can see on here, so if I clarify from this article from Guru 3D, it says if you've been waiting for a processor prices to drop, damn, I really need to proofread these articles more. Like, not might be a good week. Right. I apologize to you guys. Like, you shouldn't have to put up with these terrible typos from random websites.
No,
But either
it's
way,
perfect because that way, if I say something dumb, I'll be like, "It's the article." It's not.
it's
not me.
fine. I just think of Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons. It's like me fail English. That impossible. But anyway, the Ryzen 7000 series of processors has been available since the latter part of September, because to its dependence on DDR5, the platform was relatively expensive. Not so much just on DDR5. Like the motherboard pricing is pretty high as well. That's the
Yeah.
more like
I was
concerning
gonna say, I
thing.
think that's the worst part.
Uh, this article's got it where it counts, and that's charts. So, like,
Yeah.
so see on here, for the first time in years, AMD released a brand new platform in September with Zen 4 and AM5. DDR5 memory is a key price of the socket, no, key component of the AM5 architecture. Despite conforming to the most recent standard, the manufacturer has raised the price of the socket because cheaper DDR4. Well, I'm gonna stop reading this article. I should have pre-read this more. It's absolutely rubbish. But the gist is, there's been a significant drop in price for certain CPUs. So you can see on here, it said the 7950X is now down to 575 US dollars or 649 euros. I'm not quite sure what that is in pounds, but that's a pretty decent drop off to what it was originally, where it was. What was it on here? Roughly around 700, 800. Tell you what, because this article has done my head in so much, we're changing to something else with an actual bit of information we can digest. Because,
All right.
but the gist is that the prices have dropped off fairly well. I'm pretty certain. Oh no, let's go with video cards. I was gonna look at Forbes, but I was like, really? I don't know. Videocards.com seems like the better option to go for. Okay, so we've now got some prices we can take a look at for all the CPUs. So you can currently get the 7950X for $574. The 7900X. No, 7950X, $574. 7900X for $474. The 7700X for $349, and the 7600X for $249. I'm quite interested by that one for the 7600X. But yeah, so that's going to help a lot with Ryzen 7000 series adoption. But for the motherboards, that's still a different question altogether. Have you been paying much attention to motherboard pricing for AM5 yourself?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't paid too much attention to the motherboard pricing, unfortunately. What I have seen, it doesn't seem like they've gone down too much, but I have seen bundles. But when I click on the bundles, they're like the exact same price. So
Yeah, it's the
I'm
same
not
for
too
us.
sure.
Yeah, they're not very
Yeah,
good.
I'm not too sure about that. But like you said, the CPUs have gone down. DDR5's on sale right now. I did notice that. So now might be a good time to buy some DDR5. I saw the 5400 megahertz one was about $120 $100 for I'm not too sure that was 16 gigabytes of it, but I'm assuming so. But that was at a pretty good deal. It was a red. I don't remember what brand it was. Man, I should remember. But anyways, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've looked myself. So for it's not the fastest DDR5, but 32 gigabytes, Corsair Vengeance 5200 speed, 129. That's the cheapest half decent kit of DDR5 I've seen in a very long time. Um,
Yeah,
but you get a
I saw on the
4800 kit for 159. So it's a bit off on there, a little bit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What else we got?
So seeing that and seeing the CPUs go down too, I was like, maybe I should build an AM5 platform now.
Yeah,
With
I kind of like if that's the case and like motherboard pricing goes down, then I've clearly timed it very poorly to invest in Intel this time around. But like
yeah,
I gotta say
but
for the board I got, it's pretty good pricing, and the CPU, admittedly being more close to MSRP currently, I'm getting on pretty well with it, and the motherboard was the main like factor in getting that like price drop, and DDR4 as well. Uh,
there, I was gonna say there's a guy on Twitter. I forgot his name. I should have remembered him. But he bought a bunch of RAM, but just a bunch of PC parts everywhere. Spent a good amount, thousands up on PC parts, and he tested DDR4 versus DDR5, and the difference in gaming between DDR4 and DDR5, he said like a max was about like 1%. So
yeah,
there's really no difference between.
there's not going to be a good like improvement for quite a while. The same way when it went from DDR3 to DDR4, so it might take a couple more years for that to become more of a significant factor. Um,
Yeah, so I was gonna say saving money on the DDR4 and the motherboard is probably the better way to go, anyways.
oh yeah, pricing
I
wise,
don't want you
the
feeling bad.
yeah, I'm happy with my purchase, and it's also the first time I've daily drove an Intel system for quite a while, so it's good to change it up, you know. But I'm just looking at pricing on AM5 motherboards as well now. But yeah, they don't look any very different to like what it was previously last time I looked.
Yeah, dude.
The cheapest
Where did you sell
X6,
that?
the cheapest X670 board is the PG Lightning from ASRock. That's the X670 non-E going for £314. But then I don't know, it's like it's not too far off on like some of the other ones we got on here. But again, these prices aren't very different. Like I think we had a look at them more closely on our stream a while back. What about for B650? Because that was the one that broke my heart the most when it came to pricing.
Yeah.
Um, B650 is a little different to what it was before. But again, some of these are the more budget ones on there that have been priced a bit higher than I would like to see. Um, but we got the Asus Tough Gaming. Like that's always a pretty good shout. That's
Let's see.
B650 plus. I'm not sure if that's like an Asus thing for theirs. Asus. I'll get it right sometime. But then we got B650 Gaming X AX from Gigabyte for 220. Okay. Whoa, what is that? I don't. It might not show up for you quite yet, Jerry. But there's a crazy looking B650 board from ASRock live mixer. Have you ever heard of that one?
No, I think I've seen it though. It has like no RGB on it, right?
No RGB, but it's got this crazy like paint scheme, which
Yeah,
I
that's
actually quite
interesting.
like.
Yeah, I've never seen that, bro. I don't even know they have that over here.
I know they had the Sonic one. I don't know if that was B650 or
Oh
not.
yeah,
Um, but that's really cool
that
because
was
like
sick.
motherboards these days are fairly color neutral, if you're being totally honest, because a lot of people just will rely on RGB anyway. So seeing it like that is it's quite cool. I like the IO plate on there as well. Damn, that might be
Yeah,
the only ASRock board I've ever seen that I've been interested in purchasing. But what can you do? But again, most
right now,
was that?
right now they're having some sales on the the B650s. The Gigabyte Aorus Elite is $10 off. So for 220, not too bad if we're being honest compared to the rest of everything that's on here. Um, yeah, so 210 is the cheapest. That live mixer one is 230 here, and it comes with the flashlight as well. Does yours doesn't come with the flash? Does it show a picture of the flashlight? Oh yeah, yeah.
I've just come
That's
off of
what
there
it
now.
comes with.
I've gone to Newegg now, like to look at the US ones now. So
Okay, yeah, it comes with the $20 flashlight.
have
Maybe
they
I'll
got
get
the
to share my cousin.
live? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Are
they
you
got.
on Newegg as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
checking.
It comes with a flashlight.
Yeah,
Wait,
and
wait, why would
yeah, it says free
Asmod make
ASRock PG flashlight
flashlights?
with purchase. Yeah, I guess so. I said flashlight, not flashlight.
Do you want the bots to come? Oh, damn it! I just seen it
No,
now. Oh,
yeah.
like you got it to it before me. That's why I was like, damn. If you say that, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, that's why I saw that and I was like, oh no.
Why is a flashlight paired with a motherboard?
Well, I guess if you're building in the dark, if you spent all your money building this and forgot to pay the electric bill, uh, you can
I
use a
suppose
flashlight.
maybe that's what it is. Um,
Skip a month. But oh well, Gigabyte has this B650M DS3H. I don't know what the hell this is for 160, and then the Asus Prime is 199. So yeah, I guess 160 is the cheapest, which isn't bad, but I wonder what
but
features are missing from it.
those ones from Gigabyte are they're pretty bottom of the
Oh,
barrel when it comes to features as well. Those.
yeah, I found the 150. This is the one I saw. The B650M Phantom Gaming Riptide, 150, which is not bad for a
Where's that one?
B650, but it's the M.
Phantom. Here we go.
And it has RGB.
239. It's a pretty interesting design as well.
You said it's 239?
Yeah, am I looking at the wrong one?
Yeah, it's 159. Good. I'm not exactly sure. It's the huh. No, that's the E, it's the M.
Oh right, okay, I'm looking at the wrong
The
one.
B650M. Yeah, the little heatsink on the
I don't know.
chipset
I believe you. I
is
believe
half
you though.
lit.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
but yeah, so it looks like Ryzen 7000 series is getting a little bit more promising to invest in, based on like the reductions on the CPUs themselves, and DDR5 seemingly dropping pretty well, especially with these Black Friday deals going on. Um, but yeah, I kind
And
of like I got burned. Like that
in
original
the
pricing was too much.
in the title it says 4 slots DDR4, but that's not right. And then when I look in the
Uh,
description it says DDR5, and on the box it says DDR5. So Newegg, you have to fix your header there.
how is how are things like I'm speaking about this like as an outsider, but what is the sort of consensus going on with Newegg currently as a US customer?
Um, Newegg has good inventory, has good prices, probably the best prices, because even if they offer the same price as another company, they'll give you a rebate, like a $10-$20 rebate. You might not get it for like 4 months maybe, but you'll get it. But their customer service has been terrible. Returns have been terrible. Just stuff like that in general. But I think with motherboards specifically, they have no hassle refunds.
Yeah,
And
I think they've
depending
learned their
on
lesson there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then depending on the GPU brand, Asus has refunds on here. The Acer Predator has refunds till January because it's the holiday time, so they did the extended refund thing. So
Okay.
that's a little better. It's called no hassle refunds, which
Because
pretty
previously they
much
made a
shows.
very big hassle.
Yeah,
Now
pretty
there's no
much it's
hassle.
just no refunds. Yeah. They forgot to put the hassle part in, it just said no refunds. So,
Uh,
but
just
I like Newegg.
so I was just saying, just checking out the chat, seeing Just Chance evening. Thanks for stopping by. Like to give a shout out to Just Chance, who is now the mod for the
Hey.
Discord server, as well as Jerry. It's probably a good point. Like I was half thinking about mentioning this on the stream. While I'm at it, Just Chance, I need to set you up as a mod on the stream. So
No,
I've
dude.
just done that now. So congratulations, you're now a mod on stream too.
Yeah, when you introduced me, you didn't put my titles correctly.
Yeah, and also Jerry is now a mod.
Yeah, so you gotta add
Congratulations.
that.
We got it's more
That's
interesting
part
for
of my title.
it's part of his title, you know. But I thought I'd clarify this. I don't know if I would or not. But I'm not going to name names, but there was a little bit of an issue on the server that I wanted to address because, like, you guys are here now, so I thought I may as well say something about it.
I was
So,
on vacation.
yeah, there's that. Um, but basically, the gist was, like I said, I'm not naming names, but uh, when I put up the thing that I was looking for a mod to join the server, I had a few people reach out to me and often I said that I would obviously have to get back to them because obviously certain people would be more like uh eligible for the role given on their sort of like how long they've been in the server and at what they contribute and whatnot anyway. Now, Richard, a just chance, I wanted to give him the opportunity because he's been on the server for a very long time and is an active user on the Discord server, pops into the stream and seems like a really nice guy that I'd love to give some like authoritative power, in the server. And he's doing a great job so far. And then yourself, Jerry, I think it seems kind of like makes sense because of how much you do on the channel anyway when it comes to being like a long time collaborator with myself. So it makes sense that both of you guys would get that role in the Discord servers. And much the same way for yourself, Jerry. If you wanted me to return the favor for your Discord, I'm more than happy to. Now, the person who originally reached out had only been a member of the server for about a month, something like that. So they didn't quite get it in that like specific time, and I think that makes sense. They haven't been in the server for too long, so I didn't feel the need to get them into that sort of role quite yet. Now, the person in question seemed upset by this because they very like publicly like checked out of the Discord server. Now, I didn't say anything on there because I don't want. I'm not going to raise attention to any sort of drama stuff like that. But that is the reason why. So if that person is watching, there's no hard feelings at all. I don't expect him to join the Discord server again. But just to say that if he is watching this, he knows why that decision was made, and it was nothing personal at all. It's just based on the sort of longevity of the people who have been in the Discord server for as long as they have been. Maybe if things change and never know, something could happen, but that was the reason why. But I didn't want to make a big thing of it on the actual Discord thing, if that makes sense. So, again, not naming names, but at least I've just thrown that out there to clear it up. But again, I want to give a huge props, like shout out to Just Chance and Jerry for stepping up in those roles as well. And even for Jerry, like, he's a. I think you've spotted him in a stream from time to time, but like, just to clarify things there and just to make sure things aren't weird with people. But yeah. Anyway.
It's already weird in that Discord to begin with.
Mm.
Then you got more weirdness. It's not good. I don't know. I feel like everything's fine, but who knows? I was on vacation. Maybe it was total chaos while I was gone, and I missed it. I missed the revolution.
No, I just don't want people to feel like the Discord is a bad place to hang out. So if I can explain why
Yeah.
certain things are decided on, that's why. But like, you guys should give a big round of applause to Just Chance for stepping up and taking on such a role and trying to help out the community, which is the best thing I can possibly ask for someone. And I'm sure that he'll understand the choice has been made, and so far he's getting on pretty well. So anyway, what are we talking about? So closing things out for Ryzen 7000 in particular. I'm just pretty like I'm excited to see these changes to the pricing coming up, which is really cool. But like we'll have to see if it improves because so far Intel's just seemed like it's flipped around. Intel's pretty decent going if you're looking for a decent value platform to invest in. Like you can go for 12th gen and pick up some pretty decent deals, like on like a 12600K or even lower if you're looking at like some more like 12400F, something like that. And if you pair that with like a not B650, B660 board, you're looking pretty well. And like it's gonna be a decent system that performs pretty close on par with even something like a 5600X, which you can't get for as cheap as certain ones from 12th gen. AM4 is looking really good though. Have you been paying much attention to AM4 lately?
Oh yeah, prices are low, which is surprising. It's funny because since we're talking about AM4, it used to be that AMD was the platform where you can build budget builds, save money. So you'd save money with AMD, and then also the joke used to be that Intel CPUs were hot heaters. That they were the hottest cards around. So you go with AMD for a cooler card, cheaper card. But both of those main points have flipped on AMD's head, right?
Oh yeah, especially with like the it wasn't really controversy, but it's a very strange way that they've designed like TJ Maxx to function on Ryzen 7000 series, where
Yeah,
they'll boost to 95C straight out of the box, like under
yeah,
load.
it goes full throttle instantly.
Yeah,
Just
but it's by design, you know. I'd be more interested in checking out myself to see exactly how that functions, because the only way you can tell if the CPU is throttling is by monitoring the clock speeds, not the temperature, which is a bit of a weird way to do things. Uh, but it does stand to testament that issue with power on 13th gen because they have pushed it pretty hard, and that's something I was quite surprised with when I got the 13700KF. Um, I've been running it stock since I've had it so far, which I've had for about 2 weeks.
yeah,
Um,
you got to make sure it's stable, man.
exactly, but I'm gonna do like that for a couple more weeks, and then maybe I'm gonna start doing some more in-depth looks at like not so much just overclocking, but I'm looking to maybe do some sort of undervolt and test out that and like see what the sort of limits of that is as well. Along with like the general stuff I like to do with like motherboard overviews and tutorials and stuff like that anyway. But power is definitely way up there on 13th gen as it is. I dread to think what it would have been like if I went for 13900K. I think I'd have been here seeing some even bigger power draw issues. But
That's why I was asking you because I was a little curious because AMD with their new platform, people have been saying that they've been hot and they do run more power. So I was curious if Intel was very similar, but they just don't get as much flack because everyone's kind of used to that.
well, I'm pretty
So
sure, like, if I'm going from personal experience with this CPU now, if, because I said I ran Cinebench once just to check out the score, and that was getting pretty toasty as it was under, like, just one run. I'm pretty sure if I left it run continuously, it would hit TG max pretty quick. And the cooler I'm using is not a particularly, like insignificant one. It's an NH12A, which is pretty much up there when it comes to air coolers. Not quite as good as an HD15 in certain applications, but still a great cooler. So I'm not like I haven't paired it with like a stock cooler or anything stupid like that. I probably have better results with a 360mm rad, most likely. But like either way, I'm not like it's not getting closed off when it comes to cooling. But it would be interesting to see how I can affect that with like some undervolting while still maintaining stock performance, or maybe even exceeding it. But it again, once you start pumping a little bit more power into an Intel CPU, the power just spikes like pretty pretty high without the performance to like warrant it, if that makes sense.
I get what
Uh,
you're saying.
just chance.
They don't know how to tune it
Yeah,
that good or that efficient.
that's it. So just seeing Just Chance now, I said I'd love to upgrade to the 7 series, but I spent too much time upgrading to the 5800X when it launched. That'll be a few years till I change. Yeah, there's very little need.
5800X is great.
Yeah, there's not much need to upgrade from Ryzen 5000 series, if we're totally honest. I've stopped using my 5600X. That's because I upgraded my main system from a 3900
Terrible.
XT to a 13700 KF. What's that? You got some beef for me not using the 5000 series anymore? What's this going on?
No, it's just funny because you're like, there's no need to upgrade. Yeah, but I never used my old one.
Yeah, but I gotta make videos, damn it.
No, I know, I get it. It's just funny.
But so I upgraded like if we're looking at the upgrades, I went from a 3900 XT to a 13700 KF. So there's a bit of a gap there, and performance is noticeable. But if I wasn't someone that was looking to be able to make videos every week, then maybe I'd be saying something completely different. But for 5000 series, say if I was running that daily, then I see very little need to actually upgrade from that to anything currently. Um, I'd more go on like maybe like a sort of 2 to 3 generation jump. But even that isn't
Yeah,
necessary, if we're being totally honest. It's only us enthusiasts that like being on like the cutting edge and going for like, the latest and greatest. But like,
yeah,
there's still people running
yeah. At
like
minimum,
there's people still running Skylake and getting on pretty well. You know.
yeah, yeah, dude. Someone I know, they have I think they have a 7000 series Intel, and they have a 7900K in their system.
Yeah, it's not gonna like limit them very much. Depending, like
Yeah,
I think
and
the biggest benchmark, like not benchmark, the biggest bottleneck is going to be the GPU most
the
likely when it
GPU,
comes to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think he has a 1660 Super. So yeah, he's telling me it's about time he upgrade GPU because he can't run Modern Warfare 2, and he plays
Okay,
Escape
yeah.
from Tarkov, and he says that's kind of getting there as well. I let him use the 6600 to test it out to see if he'd be able to run the games he wants, and he is able to run them like at 60 frames at 1080. So I think he's gonna upgrade that. He doesn't have the most money in the world to be spending on PC parts, priorities.
Yeah.
So so even then, as long as you're able to game it, you're good.
But I have to say that
And
now is the best time if you're looking to go for a GPU CPU upgrade. If we're looking at pricing on
yeah,
like last gen, especially.
yeah,
Um,
you can go top of the line of last gen and save a lot of money compared to top of the line of this current gen, which is kind of wild to say. You can get the I would recommend 5800X 3D to anyone.
yeah, because even
If
Intel and AMD can't seem to beat that as it is currently, anyway. So
yeah, I would say, but if not, going down to the 5800X isn't bad either. $200. Even the 5600 isn't at a bad price. But I don't know. Intel's good too. If you're an Intel fanboy, stick with your 12th gen. Your P cores and E cores and get a good amount of stuff too. But I don't know. My rule of thumb is like you said, 2 generations minimum. There's no need because there's like no big upgrade from one gen to the next. And
yeah.
all tech, honestly, for the most part, you don't need to go from generation to generation, because there'll be little upgrades, and if there is any upgrades, it's usually got to be fine-tuned anyways. So you're gonna be
Oh
experimenting
yeah.
on that. But
But looking at the 5800X 3D, you can get that for £354 in the UK. That's pretty good for the like for the CPU you're getting, which is pretty much it's one of the fastest CPUs you can buy because
yeah,
that 3D cache is just so damn good, you know. But like obviously
yeah,
it will depend what you're doing. Like and more likely if you're more CPU bound, that's where you're gonna see some pretty good benefits. But as you start scaling up like more like in resolution and stuff like that,
440p
that
and higher.
yeah, that additional like 3D V cache becomes very like negligible if we're being totally honest. I am gonna be
It
interested to
helps more
see
in open world games too.
how that as
If you really
well.
like if you really
Yeah.
like to play that.
Uh, Literally, just as I was about to mention it, I just seen the Just Chance mentioned it in the chat as well. So, wondered how beefy the 7000 series 3DX CPUs will be. So, there is news that potentially we will be seeing some more coming out about that around CES, potentially. So, not long to wait. So it's looking like it'll be January we'll start to hear. But I did see that it's very likely that it'll be limited to the Ryzen 5 and 7 SKUs. So we won't see like a 7900X 3D or anything along those lines. A
Boo.
little disappointing, but
I was uh I was holding out for that. So
but if we rewind back to when they first shown off 3D V cache on their CPUs, the CPU that they actually highlighted on the showcase was a 5900X with 3D stacked V cache. So what happened to that prototype? I'm curious. Like, did they? The only thing I can think of is, despite the fact that like a lot of these like higher core count CPUs are obviously faster in certain applications, when it comes to gaming, it starts to see like there's like the more cores you got and also CCXs or core complexes, there's an increased amount of latency incurred. So that's why you kind of find the sweet spot is more like between 8 to 12 cores for gaming like usage more than anything. Because going between like a 59, like using 5000 series as an example, going between a 5900X and a 5950X, the gaming performance is pretty negligible between the two. If you're going for a 5950X, you're using it for other things besides gaming. Let's be totally honest. But
yeah.
so that 8 to 12 core is kind of that sweet spot when we're looking at like pure CPU bound performance in gaming. So
That and
may
it also gives them a good stopgap in between prices of their CPUs. 5600 or 7600X is too much, but or is not good enough, but the 7800X is too much, or 77. I don't know what the hell they're calling it this generation. How about you get the in between and you get the cash? You can spend a little more money, get a better gaming performance, and get have a good time.
I didn't realize we had a marketing expert on the show, but it's good to know anyway. That's exactly that's the kind of person they need
Yeah.
over in AMD. But
Yep.
that's precisely it. So the reason I would think they may be only targeting the Ryzen 5 and 7 CPU, so you'll get your 7600X 3D and your 7700X 3D, is because of that fact that those core count CPUs are less limited when it comes to latency compared to like the higher you go in terms of core count. So maybe that's why, and also given the fact that besides gaming, this additional 3D cache is not as applicable in other tasks where like some like video editing and streaming and stuff like that, which is what those higher core count CPUs are more tailored for, especially if you're into content creation. So that'd be my bet why they would go for that. And also maybe because of manufacturing costs, because it's probably easier for them to get better binned dies for a 7700X or a 7600X compared to a 7900X or 7950X, which are obviously much more highly binned processors, if we're being totally honest. Could be that. That might be a bit of a tinfoil hat conspiracy, but like when we get to CS, we'll probably find out a lot more then anyway.
Yeah, this is all water cooler talk again, so it's just us wondering, imagining. Hopefully they do reveal a 7900X 3D. I would definitely hop on that whenever that goes down in price. And because I don't know, I feel like it'll come in handy for me, and I do game it.
I feel like a 12 core with 3D cache would be pretty beastly, all things considered. Especially like I said, like when it comes to these like situations where we're more CPU bound, especially for esports titles, and maybe it could have some sort of impact based on the higher core count for creative tasks that like you would use like for yourself, Darius, especially.
Yeah,
We never know.
I pretty
We'll have
much
to wait and see.
I just want it because I stream, and I feel like it might help me out. Just give me a little bit more performance while I stream, you know. So that's it.
Yeah.
I'm being selfish, but I mean,
But don't you?
if I if,
Do you use NVENC? Well, it depends what GPU you got in the system
no,
anyway.
I use the what is it, HEVC or whatever it is for AMD CPUs. I just use
Okay.
the CPU.
Yeah, so you are taxing it a little bit, but there then.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to see.
and that's
Um, so I'm sort of trying to round things out now. Like we've kind of got the end of topics when it comes to hardware, but like I thought should take a look at this because we've talked about this in the past when
can
it
I
comes to Twitter.
can
Um,
I say one more thing?
yeah,
This
go
is
go
kind
for
of
it. Go
about
for it.
Twitter. This kind of includes Twitter anyways, so it'll factor in perfectly with that.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you guys have seen, but since we're all speculating about the 7900 and the new GPUs as well, I have seen charts, and people use these with good faiths, where they're saying they have an idea of leaks and benchmarks, and they're comparing it to the 4080 and 4090, and then the new AMD GPUs. They're comparing the results, and they're also estimating, like on the power and the CUDA and all that. And they're saying that it's blowing the 4080 out of the water. It's close performance to the 4090. And I think you look crazy if you're using those charts that people are kind of
Uh,
guesstimating about
it's a bit
and
difficult
trying
to
to,
gauge currently that far ahead, if we're being totally
yeah.
honest.
And
But
then you calling other people dumb. This is what I see on Twitter because they're arguing with you, and it's like, bro, they actually have stats with the 4090, 4080. These are just estimates of what we can see on the charts, and they compared some of the charts that they showed on the AMD launch, the RDNA 3 launch. So, and they're trying to do the math there. So,
people are gonna fanboy. That's the
yeah,
problem. But I do think that LTT did a video where they did like benchmark numbers based on speculative results that AMD showing off. So they
yeah,
looked at like the sort of like the percentage increases they were comparing and compared it to the last gen, and used that to kind of like create hypothetical benchmarks for AMD
yeah.
currently, which is a bit
So
more of an
maybe that's
interesting
where they
way.
took.
Maybe yeah,
Yeah, so
maybe
maybe they
the
took the screenshots from there and started posting it on Twitter and telling people.
But
And so,
as we all know with Twitter, that goes like wildfire as soon as someone says something about it anyway. So that's probably why. But they should probably watch the actual video it came from. Like,
yeah, that and just well, you can speculate, that's fine, but don't try to say that other people are wrong when when there's no actual data yet.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. But yeah, that very closely ties into what we're going to talk about now. So if any of you guys like are completely unaware of what's going on with Twitter, I'll catch you up with this article from BBC News that is very ominous in the headline, and it is this really the end of Twitter? So I said that's a pretty ominous headline as it is. So Twitter today. So this is going back. This was like Sunday, I think this article came out. The hashtag RIP Twitter is trending, and lots of site users are scrambling to download their data. They're also sharing alternative places to find them. Consumer champion Martin Lewis, he's like a big British, like, what would you call it? He basically tells you, like, oh, you should be looking down your sofa for lost pennies to save money or some bollocks like that. So don't worry about him. But basically, like, he's joined Mastodon, which has been gaining some traction since all this stuff has been going on. Twitter's new boss, Elon Musk, never one to ignore a trend, tweeted a meme of a gravestone with the Twitter logo on it. So the gist of why this cropped up was that since Elon has taken over on Twitter, he tried to make quite a big thing about a sort of Twitter 2.0 and making out that there's going to be like a hardcore revision of the site, and people must turn up to ensure that the changes go successfully. And anyone that didn't would then be given 3 month severance and sacked. And it seems that a lot of people took him up that offer and just took the 3 month severance and bailed. So it meant that a significant amount of people from Twitter just walked, including some fairly high up execs who decided to just FO, you know. And it's left them in a fairly like precarious spot, if we're being totally honest. And to see that Elon is obviously given the situation the respect it deserves is nothing we should be surprised with when it comes to Elon. But yeah, it seems like it's not going very well. And most notably, either today or yesterday, I think, everyone's been going crazy about this Hive. Have you seen this?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I was confused because people were saying good stuff and bad stuff about Hive. And
So what's the good
it was
stuff you've
just,
heard about it?
it's not Twitter.
Okay, right.
And then and then the bad stuff they're saying like, oh, it's only two guys running it. How secure is your personal data there? And then I was like, Hive, what the hell are they talking about? I'm like, are they talking about Hive OS? You know how I used to run Hive
Yeah.
OS? So I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what? And then I saw people posting that they're on there with no friends and one friend, one follower. But what's over there in the UK? What have you heard about Hive?
So a lot of the things that you mentioned just there in the scene, like obviously it's like it's another alternative to Twitter again with like Mastodon, but a lot of people seem to be jumping onto Mastodon, but not quite grasping the concept of the site, which, as far as I know, is very different in the way that it's used, because it functions more like server based, which is a bit difficult to like get more accustomed to compared to something like Twitter, which is much more user intuitive. So then people have been going over to Hive instead, and the big concern when it comes to that, like you said, it's run by a very limited number of people, and also there's things like they don't even have like two-factor authentication set up yet, which is a bit daunting, and people are already trusting it with their own data when it's being run in such a limited capacity, which is a bit more concerning. And seeing some of these,
Yeah, just Chance has his handfuls over there
what do you mean?
at Hive. Well, he's one of the guys running it now.
Oh yeah, didn't realize that. So,
Yeah.
sorry, you probably should have clarified that. You know, but the ones I see popping up that are joining onto Hive, it seems fairly neglectful to like be like joining onto this and publicizing it. Because everyone posts up their screenshot like, "Join me on Hive," and it shows like their homepage and like, "Oh, jump on, everyone should go on," but they're forgetting to like mention, "Oh yeah, it's brand new. It's very like."
Primitive.
Primitive, yeah, that's the best word to describe it. And also, maybe you should be careful with what data you're supplying this website with, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Who
that's
knows?
one of the
But
things that's been cropping up is these alternatives anyway.
as I say, I'm sure Twitter's using all your personal information just fine anyways, so
Oh
how
yeah,
much do you gotta worry?
but at least it seems a
Oh,
little bit more secure with two-factor authentication being available as a
yeah,
feature, you know.
I agree. And they have a really good track record of your personal information not being leaked or anything. Um, I also saw that the Apple's head director of the App Store, he unfollowed Twitter. Like he took his Twitter off,
Oh, okay.
and people were going crazy about that, saying, "Oh, is he gonna take Twitter off the App Store now since he's not no longer on Twitter?"
There
And
has been some pretty
the,
notable like exits. Like Pedro Pascal has left Twitter.
oh,
Um,
dude, the Mandalorian's gone, then
yeah, it's game over. Um,
yeah,
for if I'm talking about for British celebrities, Stephen Fry. I don't know if he's that would be a name that rings any bells for you, but he's one of the most popular British personalities on there, and he's left. But yeah, a lot of people are leaving. But I'm seeing this stuff cropping up about like whether people are gonna like join on to like Mastodon or Hive or where they're gonna go. Um, Personally, I'm looking for more of an excuse not to be on social media sites like Twitter. I know I'm obliged to use it because I like to post my videos and stuff like that.
yeah, we got to kind of market
Yeah,
on
that's
there,
the one
advertise.
problem. But like, not much about my social networking accounts are very personal, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So to see it like an excuse to like for Twitter to disappear, I'm kind of like, well, all right,
not the end of the world.
I'll just go on Reddit from now on and get told off whenever I post something. You know.
You know what's hilarious? I made a Twitter about 11 years ago, and then I just got off of it. I was like, oh, Twitter's not for me, you know? And then I made this channel. I was like, well, time to hop back on Twitter,
Yeah.
to start marketing my YouTube. And so I had this gap, which you probably won't see anymore, but it says probably like 2011 was like my last post, and then out of nowhere I just started posting all my stuff again. And I've actually kind of liked I started to like Twitter now because I see good videos and good memes.
There's
So
good and bad, isn't it? Like when it comes to that. The one
yeah,
thing I find really funny about this stuff of people saying, "Oh, I'm jumping to Mastodon, jumping to Hive." Why is no one talking about the metaverse? Like,
yeah.
why is no
Well,
one seeing that as like a
you know
viable
why.
alternative? You know, but
Yeah. You know why.
yeah, we all know why. Uh, but the other thing as well that did crop up is the fact that they've had an absolute nightmare with getting these like Twitter Blue, they call it, I think, getting that
Oh
off the
yeah.
ground because of the fact that it's been rife with impersonation, and they're still trying to figure it out because they actually enabled it as a feature and then disabled it, despite the fact many people have already paid for their check marks, you know, all that stuff like.
Yeah.
Um,
But what's hilarious is all of a sudden Elon Musk didn't like it when everyone started impersonating him as a Elon Musk a parody account.
oh yeah,
That's when he started working on that pretty quickly.
but
So
the
it
best
doesn't seem like Elon
the
Musk
best one I
likes when the
saw though.
joke's on him.
Yeah, you can't take it, clearly. That's what it is. The best one I saw, though, was someone set up, they played for Twitter Blue, got their check mark, changed their username to Toby Maguire, and started posting stuff like as he was him, saying, oh, yeah, Spider Man 4 coming out soon, gonna do Seabiscuit 2, just like, stuff like that. And he gained an absolute ton of followers on that until they eventually, like, blocked him. And he's like, that's literally how easy it is to impersonate people with this check mark. It's crazy.
Did you
But,
see you know who Dua Lipa is? She's like a
he's
singer,
I know this. I know.
musical artist.
I don't know her songs, but I know the name, and that she's a
Okay.
singer. Okay.
Okay. Well, apparently she changed her Twitter name to like Christmas or something, like Merry Christmas or something like that.
Okay.
And she's like Elon Musk, I'm stuck with Christmas as my username forever. I guess that's when they canceled the you can change your name for some reason. And
Ah. All right.
he's all there, I fixed it. And then she changed it to her headline was Elon Musk and her profile picture was of him. And she put thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, oh, sick burn. I
Nice.
was like, dang.
But yeah, and I'm trying to think the other things that have gone on with there now, but like the whole thing, like Elon has like really tried to push this. He tried to push Twitter Blue, and he even had Stephen King, the very like notable author, pop up and be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, it's fine. We'll drop the price." I just realized that's the first F bomb I've dropped on stream, guys. Like,
Oh wow.
It's the first for everything. It drove me like so hard with Twitter, you know. But like, it's a day for first, you know, or stuff like that. Uh, but if I catch up on the chat a minute now, so just chance. Musk buying Twitter was a bad joke gone bad. Well, he didn't even want it originally. He was gonna get it, tried to pull out, and then they were like, "No, you're gonna have to still buy it because we've revealed multiple bits of information that are quite confidential, and you do have to commit to the purchase now." So maybe that's another reason why. But bring back MySpace. Like I could go for that. Everyone want to be friends with Tom again? Remember that guy? He's
Yeah.
probably living his best life currently. You know.
Yeah, Tom saw the feature and he pulled out the perfect time.
Oh yeah, definitely. TechLab UK. All of our accounts are basically branded accounts. That's fair, but then I'd be interested to see. So like for like people like for yourself, where using the check mark can be a bit of a way to sort of push engagement even further for your content. Would that be something you would go for? You know, what I mean, for Twitter. But well, not that we have the option because obviously it's not even enabled anymore. But it's something to think
Yeah.
about, especially for people like it seems to me the most people that complain about Twitter Blue are the people that are already verified and have a check mark. But the people who don't have one are seen as quite an interesting option to further publicise the work they do. There's a bit of back and
Yeah.
forth on there. Um,
Yeah, it's I don't know. I kind of don't like it. It seems like we're going backwards with Twitter.
but did you see what he said
Uh
that like if you don't have a check mark, your tweets are basically like not gonna appear on people's
you're
feeds?
yeah, you're it's like a light shadow ban pretty much. Like everyone that's not verified has like a light
Yeah,
shadow ban where it's not gonna be pushed out as big. And then also it's like we're the ones producing the content. Like he tried to say like oh like compare it to like YouTube or other stuff like buying like Starbucks. He says, "Oh, you spend $8 a day on a coffee and you can't spend like $8 a month on this." It's like, well, Starbucks, I actually drink the coffee, I have it in my hand. This it'd be like I made the coffee and then I had to sell the coffee to myself
yeah.
because we're producing the content, we're doing all that. And I understand they're giving us the platform, but if it wasn't for Stephen King or other celebrities like that, people wouldn't be on Twitter as much. They'd go to somewhere where they're popping at.
Oh yeah.
And so without us either, there is no Twitter. So that's kind of where I see the issue as well.
But there is a lot of stuff cropping up where like Elon is just promising like feature after feature to try and like boost
Yeah,
Twitter as
yeah,
is. Like he's on about some sort of like monetization feature for creators, which I still think is a bit I don't know because he's on about
yeah.
trying to
He wants to
compete.
make
He wants videos on Twitter, isn't it?
yeah, he wants to make it
Yeah.
like YouTube and Twitch supposedly, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, if I get paid to post stuff, I mean, I don't even get a lot of views on any of my stuff anyways on Twitter, so it's not like it matters much. But if
But
they want to
it'd
pay
be
me
an
to post stuff,
interesting
I'm down with
alternative,
that.
you know, if you can do it.
Yeah.
Um, just chance. I don't use Twitter too much. Only follow tech related stuff. Well, same. That's all I follow that stuff, and I post my videos. That's literally all I do on Twitter. And congratulations. He's referring to the first ever f
The
bomb on stream
return.
by myself. You know,
Oh man.
I appreciate the support, guys. Tech Lab, the blue check, it was designed to say this person is verified to be actually them, but then it turns out everyone can backdoor buy it and I guess their post seen above yours. It's also as if the content those people post is also verified, but that's never been the purpose of it. See, now this is some of the things you would think they maybe would have thought out a little further before enabling it as a feature, but
But
since
everyone said that that was gonna happen. Like it's kind of obvious, and they already had a feature with the blue check mark saying that you're verified. So that's why it's kind of redundant that he went this way.
but
Um,
he's trying to drive up like some sort of like revenue for the website in the first place.
and I understand that.
Especially like with the things where he was on about he was cutting like the lunches that were like way more expensive than they should have been in
I
office.
I could understand that. Over there at Google, they have pretty much like a buffet where they give their workers you can get any food. And one of my coworkers said they knew one of like the cleaning people or something at Google, and that they would throw away like a bunch of food at the end of the day because obviously not everyone can eat it. And there they have pretty much steak and fish on the menu too for you to eat, which is not cheap. So in a way, I could see that. but I think he kind of over exaggerated too on how much he said per employee
But is it
on
going
how
to
much
really
they
keep them afloat by getting rid of that? You know, it's like
yeah.
it's a little dubious when it comes to that. Um, Tech Lab. It's like me saying I verify PC Jack is who he is because I met him, while also saying you can believe everything he says doesn't make sense. Yeah, well that's exactly that, isn't it? Do you think people will shuttle back to Facebook? Well, this is what I find funny. No one's talking about Facebook. No one's seeing
Yeah.
that as like a viable alternative to Twitter because like a lot of people are leaving Facebook like over the years anyway. Especially with like the fact that they've reported like some fairly significant losses this year, as it is for Facebook, and they laid off about 11,000 people a couple of weeks ago, I think. So it doesn't seem like Facebook is getting much more traction compared to Twitter anyway, which is why we're seeing these new ones pop up like Mastodon and Hive, I think anyway. But I don't know. I think I've not been on Facebook for about a year now, and I don't particularly miss it, if I'm being totally honest. Um, Besides more the fact if I was looking to post more content stuff on there, but as a platform, I don't miss it at all. So I'm not going to be looking to jump back there anytime soon. But that's just me though. Like other people may enjoy Facebook and I might not. Um, but then Tech Lab said on here, so it's always got here, Facebook pages are good now, like Twitter. Oh, okay, so maybe it's different now. But like I've just kind of I've zoned out from there. I kind of got fed up from Facebook anyway. The rebrand to Meta did that downfall. Yeah. Well, I think Meta has just been like a massive like overestimation of what sort of product or like service they can offer, and I don't know why they've done some of the things they have done, especially with this Meta. What's it called? Horizons,
Yeah.
um, which has like graphics from like early PS2 era, sort sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
I can kind of understand what they're doing with Meta, but I think they kind of doing it a little weird. They see it as the future, which VR probably will be the future, and they're trying to be the first ones to hop on it. But being the first ones to hop on it means you're gonna have to invest tons of money into it and tons of work, and obviously we're seeing the results of that going on right now.
VR gaming is great. That's something that's definitely worth
Yeah.
investing in. Would you like to have a work meeting in VR though?
No.
No.
But but maybe
It would depend what your job
right now.
is. I know,
Yeah, but
I know in
right
my
now
job.
no, but
Yeah, I don't know.
who
Let's see how it
knows?
goes.
What if it's made a lot better? And the only way for it to get better is well to invest in it and actually develop it. So
Hmm.
I can understand that. A lot of people at Twitter, a big reason people were mad about Twitter was because they had to go work in office. They weren't able to work at home,
Hmm.
and they caused a big fuss about that. Maybe a workaround would be VR. But
Maybe.
that's later on in the future.
I don't know. But it's again, it seems like a lot of like the fact that they've gone in and they are like they're struggling to get that sort of grasp. And given that like the sort of like the biggest user base for Facebook nowadays is more people that are over a certain age compared to what it previously
Boomers?
was. Boomers, basically, yeah. It means that it's a bit more difficult to tailor. Because I know for a fact that people over the age of like 60, 70 are not buying VR headsets. Or at least it's very difficult for them to set them up, at least anyway. Um,
Um, right here on my analytics, it says 14% of people watching my channel are from external sites. Pretty much Facebook. I was gonna say I don't get too much extra views from Facebook, but I feel like 14% is a good amount. It's a amount I wouldn't use, so I still use Facebook.
yeah. If it works for you, it's great. But like, I didn't find much engagement on that side for me. I should look at it now because I haven't looked at that sort of because you get like a breakdown of where your sort like your sources are for
Yeah,
views, isn't
it
it?
says
Yeah,
how viewers find you the last
yeah.
28 days.
I haven't looked at that in a while, so I'd be curious to see what sort of like sources it's suggesting anyway. But just to close things out, because I'm gonna have to head off pretty soon. But like,
Uh-huh.
what is your sort of? Are you optimistic that Twitter's going to see some pretty big changes and it's going to be good, or do you feel like it's going way more downhill than we expected it to?
Um, if I'm to guess on my current estimate of what's going on, how the landscape looks like now, any changes we do see would probably be dumb.
Yeah.
Um, will I stay on Twitter? Yeah, as long as I don't have to pay, I'll stay on there. I'm fine. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna pay $8 for just something I already have for free, and those $8 I could spend towards my YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense. Let's keep an eye on it because, like I said, I think we've this been that's been a topic that's cropped up quite a lot on the channel, on the stream for a
So
while
can we
anyway.
what do you think about that? About the people saying that they don't want to work at the office, that they'd rather work at home.
There's
What's your perspective on that?
there's a couple of sides to it. Obviously, there are people that are slightly limited in the way they can get to offices. Maybe more so due to personal reasons. Maybe it is easier for them to work from home based on like commitments they have, maybe family life, stuff like that. Or
Children, let's just say they have children, it's easier to take care of them at home.
there's that. You gotta think that like there are some people that of course do have issues when it comes to mobility, and it is easier for them to work from home.
Transportation,
Yeah, not just
traffic.
that's not even just Twitter. That's like that's kind of a broad
Yeah,
statement when it
I
comes
know,
to that.
but we're just kind of
Yeah, that's one of the
spitballing.
things. But I think they did actually like outline unless not humanly possible to be in office.
Yeah.
So maybe that there'd be
But
that potentially.
so that's the work at home side. And what about the side of like you're the like let's just say you're the owner of a business and they don't want to come into work. Why what are some cons you could see of people not being at work?
I think the biggest thing that he's trying to tailor to though is like sort of like in office collaboration. And coming
Yeah.
from someone that's been in like in business for as long as him, he's probably focusing on that team side of it where collaboration between people is much easier in person, and also it's a bit more
It's a
traditional in
different
that sense.
energy. It's a
Yeah.
different energy too. If we did this podcast in person, I feel like it'd probably be a lot better,
Oh
if
yeah,
we're being
definitely.
honest.
That comes with like the thing of like that in person like collaboration, which is very difficult
Yeah.
to do over like a web chat like we're doing now. So maybe that's one of the factors as well. That's he's going for. Excuse me. But I would guess that'd be my reasons there. But on the flip side, that option should still be there because there are people that do need that
I was
working from home balance.
I was gonna say, why don't they just like do a compromise? Maybe like 3 days at home, 2 days at work. That way you can get the majority of your work at home stuff done, and then the other 2 days you go in person. You can bounce back ideas from each other. And I don't know, it's just kind of odd because at the end of the day, I feel like if you don't like that, just get a new job. That might sound kind of rough, but I don't know, maybe work somewhere that will do that. But at the same time, I would love to work from home too. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, whatever the boss sees fit, that's how it is, right?
Well, we can see it varies even with like the guys in the chat. So like TechLab, he works from home. He said he would never work in an office again. And then for Just Chance, he needs to like to work in office. He said like I work in the water industry, and if he will work from home, it would make my work a lot harder. So it really varies. It depends on the role, the business like sort of like capacity you're in. So it's really going to change. And I would have thought that a lot more companies would shift over to this work from home style after the pandemic,
Yeah.
to save money as well. Uh, but it's kind of like it hasn't quite gone that like as Tech Lab just said, no, it's the culture shift we should just make now, not go backwards. Not
Yeah.
everyone can work from
Just
home.
chance.
Yeah.
We're talking about, I guess, jobs where you could work at home or in the office and see not much of a dip in productivity. Um, like I work at the post office. There's no way I'd be able to work at home. At my job, I do because it's literally physical mail. Like it's
Well,
the opposite of
what if you could throw
what
it
you
really
expect.
really hard? You know, just like throw the parcel, like just go like, yeet.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you have to be pretty strong. You
Kind
know.
of, kind of do that now. But yeah, if I could chuck it over the mountains into
um,
people's places. But I guess more like these companies or these industries where you could work remotely. But maybe just have one day of I don't know. It's just a different energy working together with your coworkers. Maybe there's some people they work with their coworkers, they'll just be talking all the time and there'll be a decrease of productivity, you know? But I could I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's very hard to weed out the ones that actually slack off at home and just do the bare minimum. How are you gonna find the people that truly shine?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's difficult to gauge, I think, in all honesty, and it will
Yeah.
vary from like role to role, as we've seen on there. But like, so what Tech Lab's just telling you? The talk of collaboration and communication, a false mask of control. That's all. We live in an age where comms and collab are just as easy digitally. Again, it's just gonna it's gonna vary. Like it's gonna be like it depends on the role
Yeah.
you're in.
That's I don't know, man, because I remember when I was younger and there was hot girls at my work, it'd give me a reason to go in on time and go work hard because I wanted to go talk to the hot girls at work when I was there. So, um, that's why it's kind of hard to say exactly the 100% absolutes, but I don't know. The way I see it too with these, these like I told you with the food, these tech companies had all this food and stuff,
Yeah,
and like they have gyms there, they have all this stuff there. Like, yeah, it's convenient for, let's just say, Tech Lab if he had a nice office like that where they provided everything from. But that's obviously also there to keep you there. Like, why do I need to go home and go to the gym when I can have a gym here? I could just stay here.
yeah,
And then, even if you're not working, you can have work in mind there. And then you might come up with an idea and go log in
yeah.
and do something or, you know.
There are people as well who don't actually like to work from home as well. Like I overheard people originally when lockdown first happened in the UK. They were working on a laptop that was on top of like an ironing board, something ridiculous
Yeah.
like that. Not everyone has like a full PC desktop setup at home, so it's like it's very different.
Yeah.
But either way, it's going to be difficult to gauge depending on the role. But closing it out though, we are obviously going to have to keep an eye out on how things go with Elon and Twitter 2.0. And I am curious to see where it's going to go. And you never know, maybe I'll have to start posting elsewhere. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah,
And hey, Tech Lab said, hot girls with less work done in the office then. No, I'm a hard worker, man. And like I said, that actually motivated me to work harder because I couldn't be beat by anyone less than me. Like my coworkers who didn't
yeah,
do any work. And obviously if the hot girl sucked at her job, I wasn't gonna help her out. I'll just do my job. But
yeah,
the ones that were hard workers, I'd talk to them.
yeah,
'Cause- So, like I said, it's hard to say absolutes, man. I understand. That's why I figured maybe you could do four, even if you don't want to go to the office at all, you can do 4 days at home, 1 day at the office.
yeah,
But at the same time, then you're going to be renting out a space and paying all these bills for nothing pretty much. So that's why I get it, but I don't know. I was just trying to figure out like maybe a compromise.
yeah. But again, we'll have to wait and see. And like I said, for Twitter 2.0, there's going to be a lot of changes coming over the next couple of weeks and months. And I'm very curious to see where it goes. I'm gonna have to close things out there. I think that's pretty much like the longest episode of Tech Flashback we've ever done. So
All right.
that's pretty cool because we were off for a week. But like, yeah. Before we close things out, Jerry, do you want to plug your upcoming video? I know you said at the start, but in case anyone wasn't here, what you got coming out very soon?
I'm pretty much gonna be doing a update on my cousin's build, just what parts I have and what parts I'll be needing, and just a quick update on what I did have. Since I did come back from vacation, it is a lot harder to it's a short week, so
Yeah,
it's gonna help me get into things. Then I'm also waiting for the 4080, so I might be updating some stuff in the background while I wait for that.
cool.
And
Got
then
any
I'll be on
streams?
Warzone. Yeah, I'll be on Warzone tonight. The first game we played on Warzone, we won. I didn't
Oh,
stream it
sick.
though, because I was that was me getting ready for vacation, so I played like an hour of Warzone.
Ah, fair
And
enough.
yeah, it was funny. We had a guy in the squad because it was three of us, and then a random. He died first. We brought him back, and then he died instantly once we brought him back, and then he left the game.
Oh,
So he cost us money. We could have bought like a nice gun or perk or whatever.
yeah.
And we ended up winning. So if he just stayed in the game, he would have got a dub.
Oh,
But
never mind then.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
so you're gonna be streaming that later today, then, is it?
yeah, in about 5 hours. So if you
Sweet.
guys are up,
I don't know about the UK lot, but like anyone that is obviously
yeah,
watching this may be able to check in. But make sure obviously you'll share that in the Discord on there, and then people can check it out from there. Then yeah, and then like I said earlier, I got the video on if I paid £100 for a dead RX 580 coming out on Thursday. I think the results are pretty obvious from what I've said anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's it for today's episode of Tech Flashback. If you enjoyed it, then please feel free to like and subscribe for more videos and streams on the way soon. And also make sure to head over to Jerry's channel and check out all his videos and streams, and also subscribe to him and show him some love. And you can also check out the PC Jack and Top 3 Entertainment Discord servers if you want to talk to either of us and hang out and just generally have a good time. And shout out to everyone that was in the chat today. We had obviously Just Chance, our brand new moderator, TechLab UK, Twan has popped up earlier. We had who else do we have, Jerry? I'm trying to take a page out of your book and make sure we thank the chat, because I sometimes forget. But
I
we
think
had
you got everyone.
L91 showed up. The Hacking Nacho. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
everyone.
was gonna see that new guy.
That was it. Nice to see it. New people popping up, and also we had the bot as usual. It's nice
Oh,
to see you all the time.
and one thing you do, you're doing so good. But happy Thanksgiving to everyone that does celebrate it here in the US. I don't know
Oh,
anywhere else that they celebrate it.
is it this week?
Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday.
Ah,
So
okay.
I'm gonna put on the pounds, you know. We get
That's sweet. For you guys, that's like almost as big as Christmas. Or is that an
yeah, it's probably
overstatement?
second biggest. When it comes to food, it's definitely up there. Everyone just brings a
Yeah.
bunch of food.
That's what
Ham, turkey,
that's wild though, because
mutton.
that's not a thing at all in the
Yeah,
UK. So,
anywhere. Well, yeah.
but it's cool. It's cool to see. Like I see quite a lot of stuff posted about this. So I'll say like happy Thanksgiving to yourself, Jerry, and anyone that's in the chat that celebrates it as well. But yeah, that's it for today's stream. We will be back next week, provided that we don't go to Vegas or any other birthdays happen. I think we'll be good, But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.